everyone, happy Saturday. Matcha Catcher diving straight in with the redeems, not even letting me introduce myself. Welcome everybody, hope you're all having a great weekend. Congratulations Matcha on redeeming first, although having said that, both LTBago and Harry were hanging out in the chat before I went live, complaining that I was late. So, make of that what you will. Thank you, LTBago and Harry, for redeeming your flowers of the day. Welcome in, Elfie. Hope you're having a good day. Hello, Alex. Hello, Y2J Twitch. Good to see you here. Obviously haven't seen you on Twitch for a while. Missing those streams, the Pokemon and the Polybridge. Y2J have put out an excellent YouTube video about beating all of the Polybridge games with only Road, Wood and Steel, which I feel like I ought to promote because I really enjoyed it. Let me just grab a link to that. Yeah, this one. Oops, don't play the video, I just want to link to it. Any Polybridge fans here? And I know there's some because I streamed it way back when. You might find that video interesting. Hello to Nyx Moonlight, welcome back, hope you're well. Nyx, thank you so much for redeeming your first ever flower of the day. Every stream, you can press that button, get a different British wildflower, and slowly build up a garden. You now have a Snowdrop. Snowdrop is a lovely, lovely pale white flower. It's not native to Britain, but it is widely planted in road verges and woodland, as well as in gardens. And it flowers in the winter, as its name sort of hints. February, March sort of time. Hello, Liari, my favourite penguin. Thank you so much for redeeming your flower, which is a big nut. Liari will be streaming more soon, hopefully, starting in September. She does cryptic crosswords, which are a ton of fun. Matcha, thank you for redeeming Blowhigh, and we have 2 requests to show outfit. Okay, I don't know if that means I have to show it twice, or if I should refund one of you, or what. But we'll figure it out. Y2J says just be late every time. That's what we did. I mean, I'm not usually that late. I usually go live sort of between 2 and 5 minutes after when I said I would, because I'm still setting stuff up. Especially when it's a new game, which we are playing a new game today. Nyx Moonlight says, was Nyx Gamer Geek so changed the username? Ah, hang on. Right, you might be owed some flowers then. Hold on one moment. You might have flowers against your previous name. My bot isn't smart enough to use Twitch IDs or anything. Yes. My apologies. You do in fact have 2 flowers already. Let me sort that out so that it doesn't forget your flowers, because that would be a shame. Okay, there we go. And then if I do garden Moonlight 96, what? Oh, this is the problem with writing your own Twitch bot. It never works. You've got 3 flowers anyway, because you received 2 before. So it's working, I promise. LTBago says it's an Emma. Very astute observation there, T-Bago. Hello, Izzy, my other favourite penguin. Thank you for redeeming a yellow Archangel as your flower today. Matcha says, Emma, I will start 30 minutes earlier than before. Mods, where are you? You're late. But I was always a few minutes late when I started at 8, and now I'm a few minutes late starting at 7:30. So I'm still starting half an hour earlier than I did. Even if I'm slightly late. Hello, the Ari. The Ari just has the best emotes. Look at that one. So cute. Okay, we have some redeems, so let's take care of those. This is Blowhigh. He is soft and cuddly, and we love him. And I guess I'd better show my outfit extra hard since it was requested twice. Good news is it's a long skirt today, so I can do spins without worrying about TOS. Nix, I'm glad you like Blowhigh. Blowhigh is our favourite plushie. We have many plushies. You can see examples of them here. But Blowhigh is the biggest and the best. Matcha says Blowhigh backflip was not on the poll. Yeah, I'm having to come up with my own ideas now. We have this flowery dress today. Harry knows what's coming. Hopefully that was worth 2 redeems, otherwise I can refund one of you. This is the pattern. Nice purple flowers. Pinkish purple flowers. My favourite colour. I'm glad you like it, Nix. Nix says, my comfort is Totoro plushie. Oh, that actually sounds really nice as well. So, yeah, speaking of plushies, I have somebody new for you to meet. Those of you who are in my Discord will already know about this. By the way, if you're not already in my Discord and you'd like to join, have a link. Get stream notifications and chat with Emma enthusiasts. But I decided to buy a limited edition plushie, which ties in with a series of games that I was playing. I will just go and fetch it now. Here we go. It is the one and only Egg Potato Man, as Matcha likes to call it. From, well, this is the one from Monsters Expedition because it has the backpack on, but also seen in other games by the same developer, Cosmic Express, and A Good Snowman is Hard to Build. Slightly expressionless face, but I really love the fact they've got the backpack, and you can actually take the backpack off its arms, but it's attached to the back, so you can't remove the backpack completely. But I really like how it looks with the backpack attached. Very, very cute. As I say, it was a limited edition thing, so I don't know if they're still available. It's one of those things that popped up and I immediately knew I had to have it because Monsters Expedition was one of my favourite games, and now I have this little memento. We probably don't need to find a name for him like we do with some of my plushies because we already have the name Egg Potato Man, courtesy of Matcha Catcher. Matcha says, if only you could open it and put infinite stuff in it. Yeah, the backpack. Yes, so in game, it makes a big deal out of human backpacks can only hold a small amount of stuff, but monsters have discovered like storing stuff in different dimensions in their backpacks. The backpack does not open, but it is quite accurate to the one in the game. I'm going to put this little guy over on my shelf. And you can watch over us as we stream today. Nix, thank you for joining the Discord, Nix. Let me send you a quick wave. There we go. Let me also give you a role. What colour to give you? My Discord roles are a bit weird. Like, I have a moderator role and all that, but then I also have roles.
Sorry a week late, but thank you for being your kind self.
I have roles based on how I know people. So I have like a role for were they a Scrabble player, were they a Dwarf player, were they I have many roles. So if you want a particular role, do let me know. Alex, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Alex says, sorry a week late, but thank you for being your kind self. I mean, a compliment like that is never late, Alex. If you intended to give me those 100 bits last week, then this week is fine too, I promise. That is very nice of you. Matt just says as long as it doesn't have a great fall. Well, I like the idea of having it dangle its feet over the edge, because that's what it does in game when you sit him down on the side of the island. So you dangle his legs over. So I think that position works well for it. Right, today we have something exciting. We have a new game. It's not new as in it was released years ago. But I've never streamed it before. I've never seen anyone else stream it. It's quite an obscure game called Concrete Jungle, which is a game about city planning, but it's a deck building game. I'm just going to do a link to the Steam page. It's £5.19, currently full price. I suspect it goes on sale every now and again. Games of this age usually do. Came out 9 years ago, 2015. Here's the link. And so there are two parts of the game. There's a campaign, and then there is the free play mode. I have obviously beaten the whole campaign before. However, I reset the save file so that I can do the campaign again. Okay, we should have sound. As always, let me know if you're happy with the sound level, if it's too loud. Jump into the campaign here. Yeah, this map gradually fills up as you complete the campaign. My intent is to stream the whole campaign, maybe stream a couple of free play maps. Show a couple of strategies I've come up with for getting high scores. There are high score leaderboards for this game, and I'm on most of them because hardly anyone has ever played this game. So it wasn't particularly hard to get this 6th place rank. But in particular, I am actually first on one of them. I think it's this one. Yes. So a very tiny claim to fame. I have a #1 high score on this specific category of the game. And I think towards the end of streaming this, I will try and show the tactics I came up with for scoring that much, because they're quite interesting. Hello Ren, welcome in. Thank you for redeeming your flower of the day, which is a Tormentil. Thank you, Matcha, for the participation trophy. I mean, in terms of gaming achievements, I'm more proud of my Dwarf speedrun records. And even the trinkets I got in VVV yesterday are a bigger achievement, I think. Anyway, the first few campaign levels are just going to be tutorials, so we'll sort of sit through them. But it will give people watching an idea of how the game works. Ren says this game sounds interesting. Yeah, it's quite an obscure one. It is a deck building game. First few campaign levels you don't really do any deck building because you're just learning how it works, but we'll get to that.
Welcome to the small town of Hollyville. My name is Lainey, and I'm here to show you the ropes.
Everyone let me know you can hear the narration okay. I won't read it out myself this time.
Looking around is pretty easy. You can use the right mouse or the keyboard's cursor or W, A, S, and D keys.
Ren says, I once bought several boxes of the SimCity card game on clearance at the local game store. Okay, yeah, this game isn't much like that one, I don't think, but it is. It's sort of a card game. The actual cards don't really feature that prominently in it, but it is a card game in theory. You can hear the sound? Okay, good.
You can also zoom in and out using the mouse wheel or the R and F keys. In front of you, there is a small grid upon which you can place buildings. Those buildings are determined by a series of cards. Let's draw some now and get started.
Nick says, got a new dress today. Ooh, that sounds nice. As you can probably tell, I'm a big fan of these floral print dresses. I have a big collection of them. I showed off another of them on yesterday's stream, although I think that one's a bit short. I wouldn't go out in public in that one, but it's alright for streaming. This one is a bit more modest. Nick says, only 99p as charity sale. Okay, that was a good find then, if you like it. I'm glad to hear.
That will do nicely.
Okay, so here are the cards. So the cards in this game, they're kind of color-coded. You have like residential things are green, commercial things are blue, industrial things are orange, and then there's like civic buildings as well that are purple.
At the top here is the next card in your build list. It's a school, pretty useful. On the card is a small 3x3 grid with a building icon in the middle. This displays the building's effect on its adjacent tiles. Blue squares represent +1 point, so the school will give +1 points to the tiles immediately adjacent to it. With a card selected, you can now place it. Notice how the blue highlights represent the area effect as displayed on the card.
So as you might expect, people would rather live next to a school than next to a factory. The blue means it's going to give bonus points to those tiles. The red means it's going to take points away.
Let's put the school here. You'll notice there are now some plus score markers on the empty tiles that were affected by the school. If we place point collecting buildings on those positive scoring tiles, we'll get points. It just so happens the next card in your build list is a houses card. By far the most common point collecting building.
So generally it's you get points for placing residential buildings, and then the other buildings determine how many points you get.
Notice how it tells you on the card if the building collects points or not. So let's get some points. Great! We now have 1 point due to the combination of the school's area effect and the house. We have a target to reach for each column. Currently, that target is 2. You can see your current target right here in the top right.
So this 2 up here means we need to get at least 2 points in every column.
In order to fulfill that target for each column, we need to use a combination of buildings that affect their surroundings and point collecting buildings.
Nick says, oh, Defo's so serotonin. And T-Bagger says it's almost rude not to buy one at 99p. I completely agree with that, T-Bagger.
Next up, we have a car wash. This card also has some red squares, which means it will have a negative effect on those tiles.
Apparently, the front or back of a car wash is a good place, but not the sides of it. Maybe the sides are okay, but the front and back is where the car's driving in and out. I don't know.
But crucially, it has positive effects in the places we need right now to bring our house up to 2.
I think, in general, this game does quite a good job of sort of mapping the effects of the cards to things that make sense for that type of building. But some of them are a bit weird.
Select and place the car wash so that our house is given another point. We now have 2 points in the first column thanks to our house, school, and car wash. Also notice how the red negative area effect from the car wash
So there's 0
canceled
points
out
here.
one of the points from the school. Now the first column is complete. Look what happens. See that? The column has been cleared. That means you bank the points from that column, which are then multiplied and added to your total score.
Interesting point about how the scoring works in this game. Your score is actually the square of the total. So if you score 2 points, then if you get 2 points, your score is 4. If you get 3, it's 9. The most you can possibly get in one column is 99 points, which would increase your score by 9,801. Unsurprisingly, that's the secret to getting those high scores you saw earlier.
It also means you get a new empty column to build in here on the right.
We won't be seeing of any of those during the campaign. Matcha asks, did you plug Blow High in last stream or forget? I haven't plugged Blow High in yet. No, I'm still not quite sure how that would work. Matcha likes to come up with ideas for what I should do with Blow High on the Discord. And some of them are more practical than others. So sometimes I just have to come up with my own ideas.
The immediate aim of the game is always to clear the first column, but you'll have to plan ahead with your building placements in order to do that for future columns. Those are the basics, but let me show you what happens if you forget to place a point collecting building in a column. Fill this column with the following non-point collecting buildings.
Okay, now we're going to play the game badly.
If any building area effects spill off the side of the grid, they will have no effect. You can use this to your advantage sometimes.
It's okay, Matcha. You don't have to think up an idea for every time we use Blow.
Now we have no point collecting buildings in this column. This will likely happen to you sometimes, but just to be clear, it's something you want to try and avoid. And not just because we have a brewery and factory next to a school.
Yeah, we have done that.
With no means of collecting points, this column cannot reach its target. Therefore, it's just going to sit there while we fill up the rest of the empty land. We need to force clear it.
Hello, Hurricane. Welcome in. Thank you for redeeming Gelder Rose as your flower of the day.
Once the first column is filled, you'll notice this little button flashing at you. All we have to do is click it to force clear.
Yeah, if we accidentally fill up a row,
Great!
we have to lose a
However,
life.
force clearing isn't free. It costs you 1 life. You can see how many lives you have left here. Make sure you use your lives sparingly. Once you run out, you'll fail the level. Now see if you can complete past this column here using the next batch of buildings.
We can probably manage that. So one thing to note, I think they had mentioned this in the tutorial. If you have a building that gives points in both directions, like this gives positive points in front and negative behind. If I put it like this, the negative points don't actually show up. And once a column is cleared and another column shows up, the negative points aren't there. So you can sort of get around negative points like that. So let's just finish the... I don't want to do this. And there, that. These out the way. Ooh. Put that out the way as well. And we just need to put a house in the middle somewhere. We can get 4 points for this one. You'll notice you score
Looks like you're
16,
ready for
so
the
you get the
next challenge.
square of how many points you score. So doubling a column score doesn't double your total score, it multiplies it by 4. So that's really good to do. Hello Twanus, welcome in. Thank you for redeeming Watermint as your flower of the day. Twanus says, my garden must grow. Yes, indeed. Some of our more long-time viewers are getting rather large gardens now. I think Harry, Tibago, and that lot are pushing 100 species. I'm going to have to add more to the list soon. Yeah, 87 is how many Harry has. So, yeah, each campaign level has 3 stars. This one, I think you always get 3 stars just for beating it, but some of the later ones, you get stars based on how many points you scored. Some of them, it's actually quite hard to get 3 stars on, but I have beaten the whole campaign before, so should be able to do it on stream. Twanna says, will you eventually add fake flowers to the list and see if people will notice? Are you saying, as a botanist, I would give people fake information about flowers? As a matter of professional integrity, I could not possibly do such a thing. No, I will. They won't necessarily all be native flowers, but I will definitely stick to real plants. Joanna says, also, how's your day? It's good. It's good. I'm happy to be here streaming, having some of my favourite friends watching. Always nice. This game, as I say, this is quite an old game, but a game that not many people know about, and I've enjoyed playing, so I'm excited today to be able to share it with people.
Since you did such a good job at Hollyville, well, apart from the whole school, factory, brewery debacle, was kind of my fault, I've hired you to develop in the county of Luther Fields, a small commuter town south of the city. You know what to do, just a few small differences this time. You now have 2 times as many build slots. You can now choose your next building from either of the cards in the white bracket area.
So this gives a bit more depth to the strategy in this game. You can effectively hold a card and play the other ones in your hand. You always have a choice of 2. Twanus, thank you for redeeming show outfit. I have already shown it twice today, but a 3rd time can't hurt. Moment. So hi, you sit there nicely, thank you. Time's the charm, says Glennis. Have this nice flowery dress today, nice long one. It's safe to do spins in. It doesn't billow out quite as much as some of them, but still nice. Thank you, Twanus. I'm glad you like it. It's a bit it actually looks a bit washed out on the camera in this light. It's actually it looks like the flowers are very pale, but they're actually quite a deep pinkish purple colour. Maybe I'll take a photo of it and put it on my Discord. Because it's yeah, it's actually a much nicer purple colour in real life. LT Bago says LT Bago has received IKEA Fitchka fake plastic monster. They now have 94 flowers in their collection. Tibago. Your garden is like there is an imposter among us. Rarest flower GG. Plastic flowers are probably more common than real ones at this point. Right. Turn to the game. So yeah, we have 2 build slots now.
Oh, the excitement! Us government employees need to appreciate the little things.
Yeah, the storyline of this game is very much government bureaucracy shenanigans. It's quite fun.
I've also thrown some new buildings into the mix. This is a green. Yes, the card is yellow, get used to it. It's one of my favorite entry-level cards. It lets you choose a tile around it to give +1 to. Super useful.
So we had the red, blue, green for industrial, commercial, residential, purple for civic buildings, and then yellow cards are like parkland and other open spaces. Harry says, did not go too far into the campaign, but did have a bit of a laugh. Yeah, I mean the campaign is I mean, well, you'll see the whole thing on my streams anyway. The campaign is fun and a bit silly. But the thing I like most about the game is trying to figure out strategies for getting a high score. You'll see later on, some of the cards we unlock as the campaign progresses are quite... there's interesting mechanics, and you can sort of combine them in unintended ways to do fancy things. These ones are quite simple. They just get you points.
All you have to do with the green is place it where you want as normal. Some blue icons will then appear to show you where you can apply the card's buff. Just select where you want to apply the buff. Easy.
Right now we're still learning how to play the game.
You can do so by clicking the X icon that appears over the chosen build position. If you ever get confused about what a card does, you can right-click on any card at any time in the game to have a closer look and find out more about what it does. You need to develop the land without running out of lives. This bar here shows you how close you are from completion. It will fill with blueness as you clear columns.
This is the whole city, effectively.
One more thing. The column target is now set at 3. Nothing you can't handle, right? Good. I'm going back to City Hall. I've got so much paperwork to do with the coming election. Catch you later.
So yeah, from now on, the game will always start you at a target of 3. I don't think it happened yet. Yeah, these bars aren't really doing anything at the moment. Later on, this starts at 3, and as the game progresses, it gets fuller and fuller. So you have to score more and more points to stay in the game, effectively. Anyway. Just the sort of basic strategy, you want to put your point scoring buildings around, obviously leaving spaces that will collect those points, and you want to put your non-point scoring buildings somewhere else so that you don't deprive your point scoring buildings of points. And it's just a case of arranging things so that you are going to have at least 3 points in each column. There. Actually, we put this here. There. Actually, we don't need this point now because we've got 2 more over here, so we can do that. This will lose this tile a point, but it doesn't matter because we've got 3 in this column regardless. So these can all go over here. What we need is more houses to collect some more of these points. You'll notice I'm intentionally not putting anything in the first column yet. I'm going to have to soon because I'm going to run out of houses. There is a reason for that, which I think the game will show me now. Yeah, there we go. You see this pink circle that said +20 and then +40? If you clear multiple columns at once, in addition to getting the points of those columns, you get bonus points for doing multiple columns. So that got me 40 bonus points because I did 3 columns at once. I think the game does explain that later on. I'm skipping ahead, obviously, on some of the mechanics I've played before. get another point in here, ideally. Anywhere that's already full, we can fill with what we don't need. I was hoping to have another house. If I had another house, then I could get multiple points at once. Actually, I think I still can if I select this one and go here, and then select this one and go here. Yeah, there we go. I think I'll be able to clear everything at once. Yeah, if we do that, we get to clear all 5 columns together. Shell, hello! Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in. I hope you're doing okay. Thank you, mods, for that shout out. Please go follow Shell. I'll just... sorry, the music will stop a minute while I tab out the game. Just to go and see what Shell has been up to. Yeah, she's been doing Ocarina of Time. Shell is an amazing streamer. She does Zelda games, especially Ocarina of Time. She does things like randomizers and stuff like that. Really fun to hang out with. So welcome, Shell, and your raiding party. For anybody joining me for the first time, welcome. My name is Emma. I'm here every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting around 7:30 p.m. UK time, which is 2:30 p.m. for those of you over in North America. Hello, Amanda! So good to see you here. I've been chatting to you in other people's streams for a while, and thank you so much for the follow. Amanda says, I keep riding raids all over. Hello. So I mostly stream puzzle games. This game is quite an obscure game that I've been wanting to show off on stream for a while. It's a deck building game themed around city planning. So I have these cards in my deck on the left, and I have this area here where I have to place buildings and get points for doing so. And it's the sort of game that appeals to me. Maybe not to other people, but it appeals to me. Shell says, you're so sweet, thank you. Shell, you are awesome streamer, and I want to make sure all my streamer friends who come here get the promotion that they deserve, because they are all awesome, and you're no exception to that. So, right now I'm really just waiting for some houses to show up in my hand, because I have all the points I need down on the board. Get some extra ones, need to. Because this column here with the blue and the trophy above it, that's the final column in the game. These columns here don't matter, so I can just fill whatever buildings I want in there. Shell says, I've got to get to bed. Sorry to raid and run, but I'll be lurking while I get ready for sleeps. No problem, Shell. Thank you for the raid once again, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. So once again, I want to set this up so I clear all 3 columns at once for maximum score. I could put this house here now, which would end the game immediately. But I may as well try to get more points. Like, the more points I can get, the better. So let's see what we can do. Yeah, we can get some more houses down here. Get this up to 9 points, and then put this house in. There we go. You'll see when I clear the 9 column, that's going to score me 81 points.
Excellent.
So that's the secret to getting a good score. I do in fact get 3 stars on that campaign level, and I unlock a new card. As you play the game, whether campaign or free play mode, you fill up this XP bar. Once you fill it up, you unlock a new card, so on and so forth. This is another, like the factory, but just the negative squares in different places. We shall continue with the campaign. So now it's going to actually introduce the deck building element of the game.
Did you hear the news? Caribou City has a new mayor, some guy called Selfridge. Can't wait to meet him. But welcome to Grapefruit District. As you can see, there's not much going on here. So it's a perfect site for redevelopment. You've been doing really well, so I think I'm going to give you a bit more control today. Up until now, you've been using a preset selection of cards. I'm going to change that by teaching you the basics of deck building. You always start the game with 12 cards. These are basic entry-level cards, and most of the ones you've been using so far fall into this category. You can tell a card's level by the colored triangle in the top right. This gray-pink color represents a basic level card. Remember, you can always right-click on a card at any time to find more details about it, including its level.
Yeah, so we'll unlock a ton of more powerful cards later on in the game.
There are some other numbers here too. Let's start with the one in orange. This number is the card's expenditure cost. When you play this card, the number here gets added to this bar in the top right. When this bar fills up due to accumulating expenditure from your buildings, your column target will increase by 1. So that makes everything harder, since then you need to reach that higher target for your future columns. In other words, high expenditure costs are something you want to avoid, as it will make your column target increase faster. But seeing as almost every building has an associated expenditure cost, it's inevitable your target will increase eventually. This other number in yellow here is a bit more positive. This is the card's economy point contribution. In a similar fashion, this number gets added to the yellow bar in the top right. I'll show you what happens when the economy bar fills. Let's place some buildings that are good for our economy.
So yeah, we have these 2 meters to keep an eye on throughout the game. So we'll put these 2 buildings
We
down.
now have a purchase. You get one every time the yellow bar fills to its maximum. We can spend this on a new card to add to our deck. Look, a new button. This button opens the card shop, and that's exactly what it sounds like. You'll get a choice of 4 random cards to add to your deck.
So yeah, basically the orange number on the card is how expensive the card is, and if you play a lot of expensive cards, this big orange number here goes up, and then you have to, the higher that goes, the more points you have to score to keep the game going. The yellow number is good because that's it's the in-game reason is it's how much economy the card is generating. And the more of that you do, you fill up the yellow bar, and then when the yellow bar fills up, you get to add a new card to your deck. And they've sort of, the way they've structured the game is the industrial buildings tend to have high economy, yellow number, low expense, the red one, the orange one. The commercial buildings are a bit more balanced, and then the other buildings don't do anything for your economy, they just have a cost, but they're the one, you need them to actually get points. The very powerful buildings tend to have a very high orange number, so it costs a lot to use them effectively. Here's our choice of cards. You can see, for example, this one. Very good for the economy, with 6 economy points every time you use it, but also very bad for anybody who wants to live next to it. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, as long as you arrange for your houses to be the other side of the map. So we'll take that one.
Good choice. That should keep you going for a little while.
We actually have a pre-placed tile this time, a farmhouse. We're about to turn this farm into suburbia, which is a shame, but it has to be done. This can go over here. Immediately fills up this again, gives us another card to buy. So yeah, you see this one is sort of the opposite of the chemical plant. It benefits everything around it, but it does nothing for our economy because this number is 0. And it costs a lot because this number is 5. But we'll get one of those as well. They sort of cancel each other out, so good. Fill up every column. Once again, I'm going to leave. I'm going to try and leave this column, the first column, till last because of the bonus points you get if you fill up all the columns at the same time. But that's not actually a required part of the game. Another thing to note, you see this icon in the top left. Some of these icons have like an arrow in a circle around them. That means that the card stays in your deck after you play it. All of the cards in my deck at the moment are staying there. This one doesn't have that arrow, which means I only get to play it once, and then it leaves my deck. So I'll take that one. I'll get to play it once, and then it will go. You'll see it has, you see it's blue rather than this purplish grey colour. That means it's a higher level. Higher level cards tend to be more powerful. Oh, I got another card. Well, I definitely don't need another house. We have enough houses. Get enough points in this column. I don't think I can actually finish that column before I run out of space, so I will do that one. Now, fun fact about this game, if you play fast enough, you can actually complete a column whilst the game is clearing the other columns, like I just did here, and that counts as part of clearing the columns at the same time. And you'll notice that pink number doubles every time you clear a column, up to a maximum of 320 for clearing all 6 columns at once. And I got the 320 bonus, even though I didn't technically clear every column at the same time. I cleared this one while the game was clearing the other columns, which is that's not actually explained anywhere in the game, but you figure it out by playing. Makes it a lot easier to get those bonuses. All of these. Getting this to 3 is going to be tricky now. Just stick this out of the way, it's not going to help with anything. But I need to make sure I have enough points in this first column. Now I can get 3 points in that column. You'll notice the game made that noise and this number here went up to 4. So we'd filled up this orange meter by buying expensive buildings. From now on I have to score 4 points in every column instead of 3. But it doesn't apply to the columns that are already on the board. You'll see that these columns are already here. I'm still only having to score 3. This only applies to new columns that arrive. We're almost at the end. This is the last column here. So we are not in any danger. This row is going to be tricky, because if I put this here, it doesn't actually apply to that row, so I'll put it here instead. Right, that's enough points on the board. I just actually need some houses to put down, so I'm going to have to start clearing columns again. I can build whatever I like past the end of the game because these columns won't matter. Hello, Lady L. Welcome, welcome. So nice to have you here. Lady L is such a cozy streamer, everyone. You should go and follow her. Let me actually... the music cuts out when you tab out of this game. It's a little annoying. Give Lady L a shout out because she's so awesome. And you should all go there and you should all watch her play. And hello to Ancient Cosmographer. I would like to shout you out as well, but it's still on cooldown, so I'll just say everybody go follow Ancient Cosmographer as well. They're awesome. They are a Scrabbler. They do Scrabble-related streams, both playing Scrabble, but also playing Infiniwords, which is a game they made, which is based around solving anagrams. A very cozy place to hang out. I don't tend to hang out there much these days because I don't really play Scrabble anymore. And also his streams are usually a bit late for me, but it's really nice place to hang out. And Ancient Cosmographer says City Planning Deck Builder. So yeah, this is a game called Concrete Jungle. It is available on Steam. Released in 2015, so it's a fairly old game. Never really got much attention when it came out, and I like it. And I wish more people played it, because then there'd be more competition on the leaderboards. Right, am I going to get... I need 2 more houses, I think. I can buff that one, and then put one here, and buff that one. So actually maybe I only need 1 more house. I was hoping to be able to pick these 2 points up, but I probably can't. Oh, maybe I can. This isn't super important. I win either way, but you know, if you have the choice between winning or winning with 2 extra points, you win with 2 extra points, right? That's how we play these things. So there we go. I can do this. Maximize my points. Lady L says, you're awesome, Emma.
Another area complete.
Thank you for the kind words and the shout out. And Ancient Cosmographer says, echoing Lady L, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, my stream's a bit late for the UK crowd, although some diehards who toughed it out. Well, I used to play in Tuesdaily and Mondaily when I was still playing Scrabble. So I was up at that time regardless, so I'd usually hang out in your streams if you were streaming it. Thank you for doing the shout out, whoever that was. Yes, I don't think I have many Scrabble fans hanging around these days, apart from our good friend Ancient Cosmographer. But if there are any, do check out the stream. It is awesome. And we've unlocked another card, and we got 3 stars on the campaign. So we shall continue.
Good morning. Welcome to Randolph, aka Suburbia. I grew up here, so don't screw up.
I will be thoroughly screwing up your hometown, Lainey. I'm so sorry.
I've got a new card to show you, but to demonstrate, I need you to build a city block. You may have noticed already that if you place buildings of the same color next to each other, they group together. This forms a city block. You can differentiate between blocks by looking at the road layout. Roads will encircle blocks. We've got a few houses here. They are all of the residential class, green, so we can use them to form a block. By default, the maximum block size is 4 buildings, but you may come across cards that increase this. Place the 3 houses in a row here.
So yeah, if you put cards of the same colour next to each other, they
This
make a
next
block.
card is special because it can give 1 point to each building on the block.
And there are cards that work specifically on blocks.
Like the green, however, you can only choose blocks adjacent to it. So select the community hall and place it on a tile next to the residential block. Magic! Buildings that affect entire blocks can be really powerful. There's something else I need to make you aware of. Up until now, you've only used cards that are repeatedly cycled in your deck.
No, actually, last level I bought 2 theatres which weren't cycled. But thanks for explaining it to me now.
Some cards, however, are one use only. These cards are usually either more powerful or cost less expenditure to make up for it.
Yeah, the voice acting for this is actually pretty good, Ancient Cosmographer. There's a few other characters we meet later on that have different voices.
You can tell if a card is cycled in your deck repeatedly or a one-shot card by the icon in the top left. Look for the circling arrows behind the class icon. As you can see here, the Houses card is cycled in your deck. That means when you've played all the cards in your deck, it will remain along with any other cycling cards. They will get shuffled and you'll start to draw them again. The Duplex, on the other hand, is a one-shot card. Once you've played it, the card will be removed from your deck. To make up for the fact it's one use only, the Duplex has a nice bonus effect of giving itself 2 points. You have a Duplex available now, so you could put it on one of these tiles. The Duplex gives +2 points to itself due to its special ability as listed on the card. But placing it here will also make it join your existing residential block, which means it will also get an additional point thanks to your community hall. Or you can place it further out to help you clear a future column. It's your call. Good luck.
So yeah, they haven't actually mentioned yet. They might mention this later. Another thing about blocks, which is actually quite useful. So you'll notice if I click on this, it says 3 out of 4 under the name of the tile. Normally the maximum block size is 4 buildings, and if you reach the maximum block size you actually get a bonus to your economy. You'll see this card has a 0 in the yellow diamond, meaning it doesn't add to your economy, but if I place it here you'll notice I now have 2 points in my economy, and it actually flashed up a message on screen saying block size economy bonus. That is actually really useful later in the game, because you can generate economy from cards that aren't supposed to give you economy if you arrange the blocks nicely. Let's just centre that so you can see the totals. I'll put that one in the first column. I don't really want any of these. Usually if the shop offers me a card, if the shop doesn't offer me any cards I want, then I tend to choose a card that doesn't stay in your deck, so it doesn't have this arrow. Unfortunately all of these stay in my deck. I guess I'll get this, it's not too bad. Yeah, we're just aiming to have 3 points in each row if we can, or more, of course. More is always good. And then to actually have enough houses show up to collect them. This one is very helpful. This is +1 to any point collecting building. It's a bus stop. The theme of this is transportation related cards can affect tiles a long way away. And that can be very useful if you suddenly find yourself short of points on the other side of the map. Like I can place this here and I can give this building an extra point. Right, we have 3 in every column. Unfortunately, I need to actually score 1 more point in the first column, which I can do. And then we get to, once again, we get the maximum point bonus for clearing every column at once, which is 320 points. Given right now I'm only scoring 61 points for the actual placements, 320 bonus is quite a lot. Later in the game, when you're scoring much more per column, the bonus for clearing all the columns at once is less important. Okay. This one is actually really good. You'll see it says remove self after 3 placements. So you can place it down between some houses to buff the score of those houses, and then it will disappear after a few turns, and you can put something else there and buff those houses even further. So that tends to be quite a good card. So if I put it here, for example, wait a few turns, you see it's gone again, and I could put something else here and get even more points in those piles. Yeah. Another of these. So I could put this down now, and then these tiles are now scoring very well. Another interesting consequence of how the scoring works, because you get the square of your point value, so this column will score 9, this will score 25, this will score 16. Because it's squared like that, it's actually better to pile all your points onto one column versus spreading them out, as long as you get the minimum in each column. If you imagine here, if I had 3 columns that all scored 4 points, then that would be 16 plus 16 plus 16 would be 48. But in this case, I have a 3, 4 and a 5, which is going to be 25 plus 16 plus 9, which is going to be 50. So I actually score slightly more by piling all the points onto one, and as point totals get higher, that effect gets even more noticeable. To take it to the extreme, if you score 99 points on one column compared to like 10 points on each column, it's a huge difference. There. There, and then yeah, see now I'm set up to get the maximum bonus again. All the columns here are pre-filled before I complete the first column, which means they're all clear at once. And as I mentioned before, you can still build while it's clearing. You can like try to get extra last-minute points whilst the columns are clearing. That was probably a bad play because now this is all negative, but it was just demonstrating. This is a very helpful tile. So we haven't seen pink cards yet. Pink cards are a special class of cards that aren't actually buildings. They just buff existing buildings. So I can put a house here, and then I can use this card and just click the house and get more points on that. I don't care about this negative scoring house here, because this column with the trophy is the last column we have to clear, so the rest of this map doesn't matter. So sorry guys, you've got to live next to a car wash. You have to deal with it. I don't think I need any more cards, but I'll take that one. You can just not buy cards from the shop if you really don't want any of them. I just need to place one more house here, but I'll try and place a house here as well for the extra points if I can. As I say, it's better to collect lots of points in one place rather than in a few places. I've messed that up because I've only got 3 points at the start. Oh, sorry. But Because I scored so many points on clearing all the columns at once, I've actually got 4 lives here. So using a life to clear a column is not a big deal. And I get 100
Great
for
work.
that last
You
column.
didn't ruin it. That's the Caribou City way. Aim low and be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think that's the strategy that was used to develop where I live as well, funnily enough. Okay, we unlocked a new card. This level.
Hello, and welcome to the beautiful Cider Rapids. This is a famous national park and greenbelt area. What is this?
Cute little hedge mazes, says Ancient Cosmographer. Yes, this is. I don't have any in my deck at the moment, but this is a card you can play, a hedge maze.
Hello there.
It's the new mayor.
I'm Rick Selfridge, recently elected mayor of Caribou City. Welcome to Selfie Park. Do you like the roller coaster? I designed it myself. Just between you and me, it failed its safety inspection this morning, so I would stay clear of it for now. Unless you're feeling adventurous, in which case, Godspeed to you.
What the
You must be Lainey Thompson.
Where did you find the room in the budget for this? I assume you have corporate sponsorships?
Lainey, I don't want the city to worry about silly commercial sponsorships, so that's why we don't have any. Look at the city's budget sheet. The numbers are all in the black.
Those are clearly minus figures.
Yeah, but they're black minus figures, so it's all right.
Oh. My printer is out of color ink again? You wouldn't think that printing out 100 colored birthday hats would take that much ink, would you? Marie! Marie! We're out of color ink!
Who's Marie? We're the only ones here. Where are you going? We're not done here. Hey! He's gone. I know this isn't your fault, but can you do some damage control for me? The mayor clearly doesn't know what he's doing.
So yeah, for the campaign, we're not just doing our own city planning. We have adversaries in the form of people like the mayor who try to screw up our city by putting roller coasters in. And yeah, these guys are not too happy about that fact. Later on, we will also get to the multiplayer part of the game. So the game supports multiplayer in the sense that you can have 2 people playing, and it then becomes a competitive thing, like see who can score the most points. Unfortunately, it doesn't have online multiplayer. The campaign has some multiplayer levels where you play against an AI, and then you can also play local co-op. But yeah, no online multiplayer, which is a shame, but I can understand why. Quite an expensive feature to add to the game. So it's going to be tricky to get enough points in all these columns on account of the mess that's been left for us, but I think I can do it. Oh, I should have used this. This inverts points, so I could have turned that -1 into a 1. But I've turned it into a 0, so that's good enough. I think this is going to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to use this on a random screen. Get that point as well. Oh dear, what's going on over here?
What is that?
I see you've discovered Asthma Town.
That's
A housing estate surrounding a chemical plant. I know.
Yeah, the sad thing is that quite a lot of urban planning would not be out of place in this game, especially some sort of 1950s American urban planning.
I thought the plant might be a really cool building to do paintball in. But then they told me we couldn't do paintball in it because of the dangerous chemicals. It makes sense, really.
I probably should have saved that invert for one of these, but never mind.
Oh, how we laughed.
I have lives I can use to clear that column if I need to. Let's try to do some damage control. This card is quite powerful. Affects a whole row of buildings. Yeah, I'm probably only going to have to lose 1 or 2 lives to clear this, so that's fine. Yeah, just 1, I think. Not much I can do. Oh, I've got another invert. Maybe I can salvage this. We'll see. Ben says, I like this music. Yeah, it's quite relaxing. Something I should point out about this game, actually, just in case anybody else here ever wants to stream it. I'll go back to the menu when I finished it, but not all of the music is stream safe. They don't have the rights to it. So you have to tick a box in the options to turn off the non-stream safe music. There we are. So that's what the invert points does. It turned the -3 to a +3. And suddenly these people are happy to live next to a chemical plant. I'm not quite sure why. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to clear the column, so we'll probably still have to lose a life. Yeah, that will only get us to 2. So it's going to be better off used here, I think. Oh, actually, this... Yeah, that works. So this is another special card. If an adjacent tower's points are 0 or lower, set it to 1. So I can turn this -2 into a 1, which is effectively a +3. That's gonna... There we go. Didn't have to lose any lives.
See that over there? That's my new convict education program.
Yeah, fortunately we don't have to clear that bit because it ends here. Appears to be a sewage works surrounded by houses.
It's a school surrounded by prisons. So the convicts can learn about stuff, and the kids can get life experience from the convicts.
A great plan. What could possibly go wrong?
Everyone's a winner.
Another chemical plant at the back there, too?
Oh yeah, just one for good measure.
Everyone's a winner.
Yeah, so this is a prison, and that's a school, and that's another prison. Maybe we can still score enough points, I'm not sure. There's no point putting more houses down. Oh, we get another invert. That's probably fine then. You... actually, maybe not. I want this diner because that's +2. Okay, yeah, we can get enough points, just not necessarily for this last row, because we could just spam park squares until it works. Oh, we can invert the prison. There we go. Yeah, prisons collect points as well. Guess they count as residential.
To water treatment world.
Enough! Mr. Mayor, I'm begging you to stop this. You're ruining our city.
So we again got 3 stars, and we get another card. So, this next level is going to introduce the technology system, which is another quite cool feature of the game.
Psst, over here. I've developed a system to stop the mayor from ruining any more of the city. Buying cards through the shop will now also increase your technology level and unlock better cards. But that's not all. You can now spend purchase points on special skills as well as random cards. When you open the card shop, there will be a new skill tree tab. Like with the cards in the card shop, more powerful skills will become available once you advance your technology. But unlike purchasing from the card shop, your purchasing skills will not advance your technology. So it's best to spend your purchase points on a mixture of powerful special skills and random cards from the card shop to help level up your tech. You're going to love it.
I'm going to love what?
Nothing?
So yeah, I can actually go to this screen and show you. So there's two tabs here. There's the card shop once you fill up this yellow bar, and there's also this skills tree. So there are actually multiple playable characters in the game. At the moment we just have Lainey Thompson, who is the first character you unlock, but later on in the campaign we unlock more characters. Each character has a unique skill tree with their own special powers. You start with just these ones on the left active, and then every time you buy a card from the card shop, one of these blocks up the top here fill up, and once you get, like, if you buy 5 cards from the card shop, you get here, you can use these powers, and then you can use the blue powers, and then the pink ones, and then the gold ones. You also automatically get extra houses added to your deck as you buy more cards. And yeah, the secret to getting the highest scores in the single player mode is picking the character that has the most broken special powers and then figuring out how to use those powers, which I will demonstrate at some point, but we'll do the campaign first. That's going to have to be a house, otherwise we can't possibly clear that column. Guess you sort of get 3 points here. I guess people want to live by the water. This kind of an awkward thing to place. Like here makes the most sense, but I don't need more points in this row. I need more points in this row. This is pretty much always a safe bet to buy because it just improves your score without affecting anything else. Right, so that's going to get 3. We can use the renovation to get 3 there. That's got 3, that's got 3, that's got 3. Okay, so this top... Actually, yeah, we might need to use the renovation at the top. Yeah, if I do that, and then do that, and then do that. I think now everywhere can get enough points. Let's show how these skills work. So yeah, one of the skills is replace a card. So a lot of the characters have skills that let you do some sort of deck manipulation, like deleting a card or replacing a card. This replaces a card with Gazebo, which is +2 to a tile. This card is +1 to a tile. So this is, if I replace this with this, that's pretty much a straight upgrade. It's not completely an upgrade because this card is also more expensive. That's okay, especially for these short levels. So that will help deal with things like this -2. Neutralise that. I think I'll replace both of them with gazebos. So you notice when I did that, it didn't advance my technology up here. That only comes from buying cards in the card shop. Can I get... I don't think I can get a full set of columns cleared, but I can get most of the way. Am I going to be able to clear this first column? Yes, because I can play the gazebo there. Oh, yeah. Have to give up those 2 points, but yeah, we can do that. And then we clear all of that. Why are there random minus points in the middle of nowhere? Oh well. I really want to focus on buying things that give positive points rather than negative points at the moment, especially when we've got all this stuff sort of pre-placed. Might have to spend some lives to clear these columns. Do this. Do you think? Yeah, I can get to 3 there actually if I use a gazebo on it after I've done this. That's more like it. These are both good. Might take this because I can affect more tiles with it. You get these 2 cards automatically in the campaign mode, but in single player mode I don't like using them. You can change your starting deck in single player mode. It's difficult to use them effectively without like affecting a different part of the... Almost everything is working. This middle bit. I avoid losing a life on this. Yes, if I put a house here and then use a gazebo from there, that will work. Don't think I can do anything about this one. We might just spend a life on that one. Why does this start as -1 for everything? That's unfortunate. And I can't even buff it with this. Let's do that. Take another library. So that, now that I've bought 5 cards from the shop, if I fill up the economy bar again, I'll be able to use these green powers. And one of those is this, which is a improved version of the renovation card, which is actually quite helpful. It's the same expense as the normal renovation card, but twice as effective. I really don't want to put houses on these minus ones, but I suppose I'll have to and then try and all of these cards apply their buffs backwards, which is not a whole lot of use to me at the moment. And this, actually, I can sacrifice points in this column. Won't matter. Okay, that gets that one done. Use a life for that one. I mean, I've got 2 lives left, so I can definitely win. It's just I want to try and score as many points as I can. Use a gazebo on here. Ah, we still need 1 more point. Oh, we can get 1 more point.
Does this mean I can't have nice things?
not have nice things. Okay, I only scored 2 stars on that level. So my final score was 978. I need 1,000 for 3 stars. That was unfortunate. You do get 150 points for each remaining life at the end. So if I could avoid using that life, I could have got over 1,000. I don't know whether to redo the level or move on. I suppose this game is going to go over multiple streams, so I'm in no hurry to finish it. So we'll redo the level. We'll try and get 3 stars and everything. We can skip over the explanation though. I might try and level up the card shop more quickly to get the spectacular renovation. That might help. It's definitely possible to get 3 stars on this level because I've done it before. So that would work for that. Visualize. Yeah, if we ignore the skills tab for now and just buy 5 cards. Useful. Get a school instead of a... The difference between them is the school comes back and the library doesn't. You actually do with more houses at the moment, but you don't tend to get offered houses in the shop. It tends to be fixed how many you get. I'm going to avoid clearing this column to get the maximum bonus later. Maybe I'm being too greedy. Just need this green in order to put here and go. After all these cards. That one's useful. There, and I know I've only got 2 points here, but hopefully I can... yeah, if I'm quick, I can sneak this in and clear that one before it finishes counting up, and then it gets me the full 320. You see, it's every time I reach one of these little icons, it's giving me an extra house. You always start with 4 houses, and now I have 6. And the purpose of that is, as you're accumulating more cards in your deck, you need to accumulate more houses as well to balance it out, because houses start out being 1/3 of your deck. If you bought a load of extra cards and didn't buy any extra houses, you'd end up with not having enough houses to actually collect points in every column, which would be obviously be a problem. So I'm glad they sort of balance it out for you like that. I need to get more points here, but I don't want to put a shop here because then I lose those points. I think I'll put the market there and get a point there. In which case this shop is actually pretty useless. want to reduce the tile there. Yeah, shop is just not a very good card, I think. Only buffs one tile, and it's the tile behind it, which is not usually where you want to play. Apart from this column, we're doing alright. But that column is a bit of a mess. Right, I think... yeah, now I've reached this green, I can use the green powers, I can buy a renovation, and I can then play the renovation on this tile and get that to 3. So that's going to really help. And I think I can now clear the whole thing. Yes. That becomes 3. That becomes 3. I can actually be sneaky, and while it's clearing, I can stick an extra house here and get 6 points there. There we go. I didn't have to lose any points. I didn't have to lose any lives, rather. Last time I played, I had to lose a life clearing that section. In fact, you can see we've already got over 1,000 points, which was the goal for 3 stars in the campaign. We just need to not mess this up at the end now. Be fairly straightforward. I won't even bother buying another card because we don't need one. Let's buy a renovation. I'm not going to get that renovation. I'm not going to get that renovation in time. Okay. Well, we still end up with over 1,000. Was the goal.
Does this mean I can't have nice things?
You cannot have nice things. You can have 3 stars. There we go. In fact, we have... Yeah, we ended up with 1,800 because we didn't use any... we only used 1 more rather than 2. So we easily beat the target that time. So, yeah. That one was labelled... Everything so far has been labelled as normal difficulty. Actually, that one was labelled as hard. But this one is labelled as hard and says, get ready to meet your city planning nemesis. Now we're properly into the deck building part of the game. We can actually choose our starting cards. So, this is all the cards in the game. There are 6 tiers of cards, numbered 1 to 6 with these Roman numerals. You can only put tier 1 cards in your starting deck, and then the tier 2 to 6 are cards that are either available in the card shop or are given to you via special powers that your character has. As the game goes on, you fill up this XP bar and you unlock more cards. You can see at the moment quite a lot of the cards are still locked. But what I am going to do is take out the restaurant and supermarket because I don't like them. Put some other things in. Matcha Catcher says you cannot have nice things, you can have 3 stars. I mean... Matcha, I have a quote bot now, so you're free to add that as a quote if you would like. You can do !" quote and then the quote, and it will add it. When you're customizing your start deck, you have to have 12 cards, and you have to have 4 houses. These are locked, and I can't change them. But everything else is changeable. So you can't add or remove houses. It's generally a good idea to have something blue, something red, and something yellow. So I'm going to put a green and a Grove in. Grove is situationally useful because if you've got negative points on a building, you can cancel them out. I'll put a factory and a wholesaler because sometimes one's better than the other. Actually, I'll put 2 factories for now. And then I definitely prefer restaurant to supermarket. Supermarket tends to get in the way of subtracting points from cards we already have, but I might be able to play without either of them. Yeah, I'll put 2 car washes. The other card I wanted, we actually haven't unlocked yet, so I'll put 1 each of these in until we unlock the other card. Ren says something old borrowed something new. Yes, something old, something blue. Thank you for adding the quote, Matcher. Yes, anybody can do ! Quote to get a random Emma quote. There are only 5 available at the moment. But we did only introduce it 2 weeks ago, so hopefully our quote library grows over time. And don't forget to make clips as well. I actually went back and clipped my completion of that really difficult trinket yesterday because I wanted to save that that memory. But if anybody sees clips they want to save, do remember to do them. Right, what are we hiding from?
What? Hello, Rick, you little dunce puppet. You're Oswald Selfridge's kid, aren't you?
Uh-oh. We have this character who is a bit of a handful.
He always did have more money than sense, and looks like you have neither. Who's in charge around here?
I am.
No, I mean, really.
Laney, I guess.
Good morning, ma'am.
I'm Miranda Lynch. I represent Patriot Burger Incorporated, and I'm gonna cut to the chase. We can solve all your budget problems.
Patriot Burger Incorporated.
We'd cover the city's debt in exchange for a few small demands. 1, we change the name of Caribou City to Patriot Burger City. 2, we get rid of all public land and replace it with Patriot Burger fast food restaurants.
Let me think about this. No.
Too bad. I was just trying to give you the opportunity to get off this sinking ship. I've already started buying up land. Word is getting out about how terrible the mayor is. Landowners can't wait to sell. Maybe I'll find a job for you and Mayor Selfridge in one of my burger kitchens. Or would you prefer the abattoir?
Thank you for that emote, Harry. Yeah, so this character is who we're going to be trying to deal with for most of the game. They are intent on turning our beautiful little city into a sprawling mass of fast food restaurants.
I'd prefer the kitchen, please.
You'll have to go through us first.
Everybody has their price, Thompson.
We don't have any government employees left to bribe. They all quit. So joke's on you.
Listen, numbskull, I've put in a claim for this here Greenfield site. If the government can't get their act together and develop on it, the land becomes property of Patriot Burger.
Yikes! We'd better get building.
Not if I build on it first.
Okay, yes. We're going to turn more picturesque farmland into suburbia, I'm afraid. But at least it's not going to be burger joints, okay? It could be worse.
Hey, this is our land.
Uh-oh.
Nuh-uh.
That wasn't there a moment ago. Watch out, Miranda will place a building randomly every 4 plays. I love the silly things this game does. Okay. We want to get gazebos or try and get straight to... Oh, actually, we start with 4 technology. I think going to the green tech level first is probably a good idea. So let's buy things. The problem here with my usual strategy is I would just leave this square blank and then claim this column at the end. The problem with that is, what if they build a fast food restaurant on it? Then we have a slight problem. So I might have to adjust my strategy. I think we'll be okay because I can just buff another square if that happens. Yeah, if I do this, beats that column. That completes that column. That column. Yeah, I think we can still manage to do this even with the. Yes, you placed on my 1 point that I was relying on, but now we've got to this tech level, we can unlock this card, and I can use it on this house. So I'm guaranteed to be able to get 4 points in that column now. So we are safe, I think. Yeah, I can use that to get that 3. Yeah, okay. So now whatever we do, we're guaranteed to clear the whole thing. Let's just try and get a few extra points where we can. Kind of didn't do anything. We run out of useful things to do, but I want this 1 point here. I'm going to get it, and then I'll do that. And do everything at once. And the advantage of that over if I was to clear it bit by bit, then while I was clearing it, they would be building burger places in this area. But now we get to start from scratch with a clear area free of burger joints. I will actually... Yeah, I'll take a second one of these as well, just in case. This is quite a powerful card as well. So this card at first glance looks the same as the Park Square, but the Park Square costs 5 expenditure and this only costs 3. So this is basically an improved version of that. I'll take one of them as well. And if I arrange like a ring of houses and put one of them in the middle, that can affect a lot of tiles, which would be good. As long as none of them get burger places built on them. Let's put that there, and then quickly put a house on it before it gets covered up. I can do that. Okay, take another of those. this row has, this column has plenty of points, so I don't worry about using all of them. If I hold this in my hand, I can just collect the points here whenever I need to. Can I get this to 3? Right. I might, if I draw another thing that works that direction, I can. Yeah, this works. So, yeah, put the sculpture here. It doesn't really matter what I do with these other buildings, I just need the sculpture available. There we go. And then I can quickly collect these 4 points rather than have them go to waste. You see the difference it makes collecting the full bonus each time for clearing all the columns at once. You don't have to play it that way, it just helps a lot if you do for getting 3 stars on every level. Okay, fire station and police station are both really good. They both do a whole row or column gets +1 point. Police station. And then I'll probably use it on this column. I start accumulating points on this. Of course you went and put that there. Oh, this is really useful. +1 to any block. That's very useful. I can do this. And hopefully get houses onto all of these tiles. Otherwise we might be in trouble if I can't. Might as well get this block, then those are done. This top row is going to be an issue. Of course, I buff it and you immediately go and build one of those there. Okay, I'm going to have to grab this one before that row fills up completely. I might have to use a life on that one. A bit unpredictable what they're going to do with it. Set a tile to +2 is good. This is actually quite good because it thins out your deck. Thin to win and all that. Getting rid of less good cards in favour of better ones is superior to just adding a card to your deck. So that is a good option to use. Right, if we assume this bottom row is a lost cause, I want to try and get 4 points in this time. Or at least as many as I can. As well, cancel out those points. Yeah, this is +2 to a tile, so I can do that. Oh, great. They just took away half of my points. I didn't have enough houses. Okay, we're very close. If I get a card that buffs across there, we might still manage that one. Right. Please don't place a burger thing here before I can place that sculpture. Okay. That's good. Okay, we only need to lose 1 life. And we have 5. with all those points we scored, so I think we're fine. Well, this part of town looks a bit nicer. I don't think they'll be very pleased to see a burger joint open outside their front door. Oh yes, this is an example of another special type of card. This lets you delete a card from your deck. This can be quite powerful because if you can get... It's not a repeating card, so you have to keep getting them in the shop, but if you can really thin out your deck. There's no fixed minimum size to your deck, but if it goes below 12 cards, they give you like filler cards that do nothing except increase your expenditure. So it's a bad idea to go below 12 cards normally. At the moment these games aren't really long enough for it to matter. But yeah. As you progress in the game, you tend to want to avoid going below 12 cards, but still keep your deck as slim as possible. Right. These do not put anything on this tile. I'm sort of going all in on this tile for this column. I'm sorry, what is this nonsense? Big game. Fine, we just ignore it. I can still win. Just ignore it. We get every other column. Actually, yeah, I can still do it. I think I just need to not have that happen again. Right. These don't build on this tile until I get another house. This column might also be tricky. Police station is good here. Okay, we have one more placement and then we can claim this. Okay, phew, they went over there. Right. Just going to play really fast to try and get a house down before that column is reached, so we get extra points. There we go. It's an extra 320 points if I can get that house played while the game is still clearing columns. So yeah, it's interesting. Most of the time you're free to sit and think for as long as you like in this game. Like there's no timer. But while it's clearing columns, there is a very direct incentive to playing as fast as possible, which I find interesting. Tibago says reject houses, embrace Borga. Thank you for that contribution, Debagger. Okay. What to get? Oh, I didn't notice the column target had gone up to 5 instead of 4. That's actually slightly, slightly more tricky because how do I get 5 in this row now? Possibly can't. Possibly can't get 5 in this one either. That one's only 4. That's not. Yeah, I haven't got space to buff that. Maybe we can draw a renovation tile. we've used both of our renovation tiles from the special powers. Oh, this plus 120 point collecting building or 20 block. Okay, that should save us. Actually, no, because the two houses aren't connected, so that's still only plus 1. Oh well. Keep playing, see what happens. Ah, here we are. This is once you get past a certain level of technology, which is here, it starts adding townhouses to your deck instead of just houses. Townhouses collect double points, so that's one of the ways in which you can score a lot more points later in the game. I'm just going to keep placing stuff in case by some miracle I find a way to get 2 more points in here. None of this stuff matters, it's not going to score. Don't think there's anything in my deck that will... no. Okay, well we have to lose 1 life. We've got
Damn it!
over
Next time
almost
I won't tell you
3,000.
my plan when there's still time to stop it.
I think that's going to be enough for 3 stars.
Oh, what were you thinking, Miranda?
It is indeed. If you get the enough for 3 stars, you don't get to see what the threshold was, but whatever it was, we passed it. Move on. So yeah, this introduces versus mode. I mentioned there's no online multiplayer for this, but you can play a 2-player game locally, and you can play against the AI, which is what's going to happen here. And then the game works a bit
Tough times
differently.
are coming, and I need to mentor you in the ways of competitive city planning.
Part of me wishes that competitive city planning was a thing, and part of me is very grateful that I don't live in a world where competitive city planning is a thing. Nobody wants to live in the city that lost the competitive city planning tournament.
I've been teaching the mayor all morning. He's not screwing things up as much.
Now I see why Asthmatown was a bad idea.
Playing versus mode is similar to solo mode in many ways. You still build a deck, you still buy cards and skills, but you are competing against your opponent for control over each column. To help do this, you are given a stretch of land that only you can build on. You are the turquoise team. This is your land. Only you can build here. Your opponent is in purple, and only they can build here. The middle section is non-reserved land. Anybody can build here. In addition, the land in the first column is always classed as non-owned. Anybody can build in the first column. In versus mode, there are 2 ways to advance the column. The column is cleared if either you or your opponent reach your column target, like in solo mode. It will also be cleared automatically if there is no more space to build in the column, regardless of either player reaching their column target. In versus mode, it's all about winning columns. To win a column, you must reach your column target. When you are winning a column, you'll see a star icon over it. When it's cleared, you'll get all of the points in that column, including your opponent's. If both teams have reached their column target, the column winner is the team with the most points in that column.
So now, instead of just trying to meet a target on each column, we are trying to score more points than our opponent. We have our little areas to ourselves, but we can also share this area in the middle.
So basically, try to outscore your opponent in each column. Sometimes you'll have to pick your battles. One last thing. In versus mode, the game is played in turns. You'll each get 3 cards to play, or placements, then it's the next player's turn. I think that covers everything. I'm going to set up a friendly game against the mayor to ease you in. He's
friendly
better than he
game?
looks.
Hey, can we stop insulting my looks? My intelligence, fair game. Get my looks out of this.
So, an important thing to realise in versus mode is that although you can't build in your opponent's area, the area of effect of your buildings can extend into your opponent's area. So let's say my opponent was to put a house here. I could place a supermarket here and then that house would lose points. But then they can do the same to me. So it's kind of up to you how you want to play, whether you try to score points for yourself or try to lose points for your opponent. It's also worth noting I do start with 3 purchases. So let's maybe do some of them. Those are always useful. We unlock this. I might just get more than one then. It's relatively hard to deprive this house of points because it's mostly surrounded by my land or buildings. Now the AI is playing the game. It should be noted the AI is not great. It's okay, but a human player can definitely do a lot better than the AI in this game. So you can tell he's trying to put a house on this tile. So what I'm going to try and do is have a house of my own that outscores his house, because then I'll not only get my points, I'll also get the points that they were trying to get. So you see at the moment I'm winning this column. If they put a house here, they'll only get 2 points for it. They didn't draw any houses. Can do this so it only benefits me. Yes, this is a very powerful card. It's expensive, as you can see. It adds 7 to your expenditure, but you see it says +1 purchase underneath. What that means is as soon as you play this card, you can then come back into the shop and buy another card immediately without having to fill up the yellow bar. So it's as if this number was a 4, which makes it quite powerful. So I'm going to get one of them. You normally can't fill up your economy and buff your points at the same time. He'll either play here to try and beat this one, or just play here to try and outscore this one. So let's make that a 3 point as well. Okay, he decides to go there instead.
Let's see here.
Yeah, you see, so right now, if this column was cleared, I would get 5 points because I've met my column target and he hasn't. If he was to put a house here, then we'd get 3 points each. But if he was able to score 4 points in this column and I only scored 3, then suddenly he'd get 7 points. So there can be quite a swing in score based on a few points in strategic places. I'm going to just do this to deprive him of points. And then this is actually the place I should be focusing on. Yeah, see, he's trying to get to 4 points, but he hasn't got any cards that improve score. Now he has. But he decided to go there. I mean, I'm willing to let him have this column if I can have these two, because then I get much more points. I get 11 and he only gets 4. He could still put something here to buff these, so I need to bear that in mind. Police station is good because I can make it only apply to my tiles. This is also really good. I need to put this in first because as soon as I place something here, this column will be cleared. have 7 points on the board. Realistically, I don't think I can prevent my opponent getting 4 points there, so I'll just focus on this one. Okay, they're filling up that column in order to cash in their 4 points, which makes sense. However, I can also fill this column now, which will give me 8 points plus 1 point for this, so I'll get 9 points. Seems like a good deal to me. Let's take another of these.
You're getting served.
So yeah, I'm now up by 16 points to 4. So we're doing pretty well. Place that. Okay, so you can see the AI does have a technology tree and cards to buy and all that sort of stuff as well. And Rick Selfridge's tech tree is actually different to Laney's tech tree, so the AI will be using different powers as well. Okay, so they're going for that column. I might just let them have it and get points down here. I don't really care how many points you get, because as long as you don't catch up by 12 points, then I'm still going to win. Get another of these. Good. It does. He can get a point here, but he can't possibly catch up to 6 points, so it doesn't actually matter. Quickly sneak that in and get 7 instead of 6. There we go. I'm 21 points ahead, so I don't care if they score 7. They're still not going to catch me. Yeah, I can't. I would like to try and compete for points here, but I'm not drawing any houses right now, so I can't really. I'll use this because it replaces a card rather than adding. That way I avoid making my deck even bigger and failing to draw any houses. I'll buff cards, stuff that's only mine. I can go on the offensive here and place a factory to reduce my opponent's score. It's useful to be able to do. In fact, I can reduce their score on this column as well. It is possible to have a build that is largely focused around trying to get as many negative points on the board as possible and deprive your opponent of points. But that really only works in versus mode. In single player mode, such a build will not work at all. Okay, I keep not drawing houses, so let's get an extra house in. It's annoying that this tile, I'll be able to get that tile up to 6 points, but my opponent has 7, and 7 is more than 6, so there's actually nothing I can do there. I'll just deprive them of points, and then I don't want to let them build there either, so I'll do that. I'll set up another column for me to try and score points in over here. I can afford for them to score 7 easily. That's not going to help them catch up, really. Yeah, 2. See, now, suddenly all my houses have come at once, which is not particularly helpful. Yeah, I now have 4 in that column. Probably just take their 7, or actually they can make it 8. But that doesn't matter. Still down by 8, and I'm about to score another 6 on them at least. After not drawing any houses, I've just drawn loads of houses at once. It's a bit of a mess, but I should still be able to win. Not ideal. They're going to try and outscore me and pick up that point. I honestly don't think it matters. I think I can just clear this and then win on points. No. Yes. Good point, T-Bago. We are past the 2-hour mark.
What's going on now?
So, yeah, I get
Yeah,
8
it
here.
looks like
They
that.
score 8 here because they get my points as well as theirs, but that's not going to be enough. I'm still up by 9, and then that's going to be 0.
I'm
By
glad
11.
you're on
actually.
my team.
El Tibago says, I didn't forget you forgot. I mean, technically I can redeem channel point rewards on my own channel, but I tend not to. It's a bit silly. Yeah, no, this is a good point to take a break. We've sort of seen all the mechanics of the game now. We've seen versus mode and the tech tree and everything, so the rest of the stream will just be me playing the game, hopefully playing it well.
You are on my team, aren't you?
Miranda and Patriot Burger will have their work cut out. Although we still need new government staff to help us.
Okay, I got 3 stars on that one as well. Tibago says, I'm also not panic looking for plot. I mean, don't forget, Tibago, you can always just choose a random number for a page from the book. You don't have to tell me a plant if you don't want. Anyway. Thank you for those redeems. I'll keep the music running, but I'll run it quietly. Okay. We're about halfway through the stream, so if you've been sitting for 2 hours, now is a good time to stretch, take a sip of water, etc.
Common duckweed, Lemna minor.
Common duckweed. Okay then, we can certainly do that. Been a good while since we had a water plant. Yes, that's very true. So yeah, duckweed is an aquatic plant. There are many types of duckweed, both native and introduced. Common duckweed is, as its name suggests, one of the most common. I shall get the books in just a moment, once we are thoroughly stretched. Ooh. Okay, Lemna minor is the Latin name. Where is that? Num num num. Here it is. Let's get a picture up. So, duckweeds are an interesting family of plants because most people just look at the green floating on top of a cattle trough or a pond, or think, oh, that's all the same species. But there's actually quite a variety of duckweeds. There's one called fat duckweed. There's also lesser duckweed and least duckweed, as well as the common duckweed, one we're looking at today. Gonna get a couple of pictures up. Let's see if I can find a picture that has multiple types of duckweed. As a comparison. Yeah, here we go. This is a on the left, you've got a close-up of common duckweed, and on the right, you have a selection of different duckweeds. You can see they all those are all at roughly the same scale. So you can see that though they all have the same basic structure, they vary quite a lot in size. Let's read what the book has to say. Our most widespread and frequent floating aquatic plant, often abundant on a wide variety of still or slowly flowing mesotrophic or eutrophic waters. It also occurs terrestrially on exposed mud or damp stonework and rocks. Plants rarely flower, and reproduction is by vegetative budding. Although it is undoubtedly widespread, it's probably over-recorded because variants of fat duckweed may be mistaken for it. The relative frequency of the two species requires detailed and critical study, especially in southern and eastern England. Okay. So, yeah, possibly being mistaken for fat duckweed by some botanists. If I get a picture of specifically fat duckweed up, actually, contrast the two, that might be a good idea. Yeah, so this is show you how similar they look. Here's a photo that's been taken of fat duckweed. Yeah, these two photos are not at the same scale, but the problem with using scale as a way to identify plants is if you haven't got examples of both plants there, then it can be quite hard to judge. If you can see two duckweeds and one's bigger than the other, then it's all very well. But if, and of course, some botany identification guides will actually have quite detailed information, and you can, you have to measure the length of the seeds or the petals or something and say, well, if it's 6mm petals, it's this, and if it's 10mm petals, it's this. Terrestrial plants, that's not so bad, but aquatic plants, it might be difficult to get in a position where you can actually measure them, depending on where exactly it's growing. LD Bago says, it's been a good while since we had a water plant. Wiki suggests common and lesser duckweed are the same thing. Kind of. The Latin name for common duckweed is Lemna minor, which is Latin for lesser duckweed. But there's also Lemna minuta, which is least duckweed, which is even lesser than lesser. Sadly, there isn't a greater and greatest, but there is a lesser and least. Least duckweed is actually a non-native as well. As the book says, it is widespread, but the distribution is somewhat uncertain due to possible confusion with other duckweeds. I'm going to bring up the distribution map regardless, because that's what I usually do on these streams. Here we go. So yeah, this is pretty much just showing that it occurs everywhere. It looks like it's more dense in some places than others. That's generally just an indication of more thorough recording in some areas, such as, for example, North Somerset, where I am. Don't want to boast too much, but we have quite a lot of recording going on here compared to some other parts of the country. Let me just see if I can find somewhere there's a thing about duckweeds that would actually be quite helpful. Where is it? Yes. This is Dr. Crouch's introduction to duckweeds. Which I'm probably not allowed to stream, but never mind. This is a presentation that Dr. Crouch gives sometimes about duckweeds, and it has some very helpful comparative photos in it. And you see it talks about the different species. This is the genus. So Lemna is the main genus of duckweeds. There's this Wolfia genus as well. These don't have roots, and duckweeds do have roots. So that's how you can tell which genus it is. And then, yeah, it has some helpful tips for identifying. But even to botanists, these can be difficult to identify, which is why there's a special presentation about them, and also why the book says a lot of these records that we have in our database might actually be wrong. LT Bago says there is a minute duckweed in the US. Oh, Lemna purpusula, also called tiny duckweed. Yes, so that is it's a non-native one, which is why it's red on this list. That is also in the same family. Matcha says, what's with the PowerPoint slides? I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but there is specifically in here a... oh yeah. Fat duckweed is not fat. Common duckweed is not the most common, and red duckweed isn't necessarily red. Always like that. There's a very helpful picture in here that has all of them together. Where is it? Yeah, here. So it's just to give you an idea the common duckweed is these sort of medium-sized ones. The least duckweed is the little ones, and the fat duckweed is the big ones. So when you've actually got them all next to each other, the different scale does become apparent. But if you come across a body of water and it's only got one of them in, it's not going to be so obvious. But yeah, I like this photo because it shows multiple types of duckweed growing together. But yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of them, and some of them are very rare. Like this one, for example, which grows in a small area in South Wales and Southern Ireland. Anyway, yeah, this is. I don't want to get into quite that much detail on. This isn't a dedicated botany stream. It's just a break, mid-stream break. So I just thought that last photo is good to show the difference between the different types of duckweed. Matcha says today's class is duckweed. Yes, don't worry, Matcha. There will not be a test. So thank you, Tivago, for that request. Alright, it is a while since we did any aquatic plants. Okay, let us return to Concrete Jungle. Matcha says, okay, good, I wasn't taking notes. Harry was probably taking notes. We know what Harry's like. So we've actually unlocked 2 options in the campaign now. We can unlock a new playable character by beating Giles in Versus Mode, or unlock a new playable character by beating Horace in Versus Mode. This one is hard and this one is very hard. So we'll do the hard one first, then we'll do the very hard one. Have I unlocked any more cards yet that I would actually want to use? Oh, I've unlocked this one. This one is quite useful. It discards the next card in the list. Discarding a card doesn't get rid of it from your deck, it just puts it to the bottom of your deck and then you pick it up again. That could be quite useful if you have a card you don't want to play. So let me swap out the supermarket for one of these. Hello Ophelia, thank you for redeeming your flower. Garlic mustard. Hope you're doing okay. Something a little different today. So this is going to be another versus mode, but against this guy.
Giles, is that you?
Hi, girl. It's been 7 years.
It's great to see you. How's the band?
We split up after you left. I tried to take over as lead singer, but turns out hardcore punk and my accent don't mix well. The audience thought we were a comedy pirate band.
So as someone from Somerset where the local accent sounds a bit like this guy, although not much like this guy, this is quite funny. Yeah. Hardcore punk does not mix with that accent. Ophelia says, just popping in for a moment to unwind a little bit. Okay. Hope you are doing okay. Happy Saturday. And obligatory shout out to Ophelia, who is amazing. And you should all go and watch her stream.
Tratterhead is officially disbanded.
Tratterhead. Yeah, it's a stereotype, but it's a stereotype of where I'm from. Therefore, I'm allowed to enjoy it. Ophelia says, I've been lurking since the beginning, but was ghost hunting with Tofu, Lana, and Noz. Oh, that sounds. Yeah, I didn't sure how you get on with horror games, Ophelia, but I'm good that you are obviously having fun playing with friends. And yeah, as Harry said, I'm glad you were able to get that arranged. And yes, sometimes the spooky level is too high. Ophelia says, most of it was kind of fun, but the last hunt was intense. Oh dear. Well, you know, it's always good to try new things. I'm glad you guys had fun. And yes, Tofu, Lana, all these people are amazing streamers in their own right. If you go to Ophelia's stream, if you go to her About page, under her name is the name of the team she's in, which is called Cozy Chaos Collective. If you click that, then it brings up a list of awesome cozy streamers, all of whom are worth a follow in my opinion. Ophelia says, sorry, I think I clicked my mic there. Ophelia says we agreed we can hide. I can hide in the truck earlier next time. Oh no. Poor Ophelia, hiding. Oh. Well, I'm glad you had fun.
Wait a minute. Lainey was in a punk band?
Yeah, she was the best. What happened to Lainey Tommy Gun?
Shh, don't call me that around here. I'm the city architect now.
You were always the ambitious one, while I was always the attractive and intelligent one. We were going to part ways eventually. I'm here to help, if you can stomach me. A blackbird told me Patriot Burger were trying to buy out the city, and I hate them almost as much as I hate music made after 1995.
You mean you want to work for the government too? Giles, that's great!
I'm here to tear it down from the inside.
Ophelia says, I found 2 clues, so I helped identify the very, very, very aggressive thing. Well done, Ophelia. And yeah, T-Bago says, that's all well and good until the truck gets haunted.
I think the mayor beat you to it.
Oh dear. Now Ophelia is going to be paranoid every time she's in the truck.
How's this? Kick my arse in this city planning malarkey, and I'll join your government.
Game on! You want some of this?
There she is.
So, yes, in order to persuade this guy to work for the government, we have to beat him at this game. And he gets a 3-point head start as well, which seems unfair. Okay. Well, these are actually really good in versus mode, I think. Go ahead and get one. Let's immediately take one of your points away. And then get some points for ourselves. LT Bago says, I have no idea, never played it, just making it funny. And Ophelia says, listen, I'm already stressed enough. Oh no. Poor Ophelia. Ophelia came here to calm down, T-Bago, not to get more stressed out. Yes, exactly. Please be kind to Ophelia. Right, I think I can win these points just by outscoring my opponent. Yes, thank you, Alex. Alex understands. Everyone be kind to Ophelia. Yes, please be kind to our fellow streamers, who are very kind people themselves, and who have had a traumatic day playing horror games with their friends. Right, how do I... Okay, I can go here and then not... Now that loses me points and loses them points. I would rather just lose them points. Quite sure how I want to do this. Maybe this is okay, because I'm still winning that column. And now I'm tied with them on that column. So this guy, obviously being a farmer because of his accent, has his own class of cards, the ones with the sort of bluish green background, which are rural cards. So they're things like fields and farmhouses and so on. They sort of have their own special abilities. One of them. Okay, he's got more points than me on this column now. Yeah, I don't want to... You'd think this would be good because it makes my opponent lose a point. But if I have a star in this column, that means I'll get all the points in this column. If my opponent has negative points, then that means I gain those negative points when I clear the column, which means I lose points. It's quite difficult to get your head around. Let's instead just score a point up there. And you see, I can punish my opponent in this column, but I'd have to also lose points myself. Let's just put this down here. Hard to know what the best play is in this game, I think. Specifically in this situation. Okay, so they're going to score 4 there. Yeah, I don't want them to get ahead of me. Then. If I do this, I'll get an extra point. These two are basically going to cancel out. They'll get 4 and then I'll get 4. But at the moment they're getting 5 from this. So I'm relying on this community hall card, which gives +1 to an adjacent block. But that won't happen until... well, I can't play it until there's space up here, so I'll have to clear one of these columns first. I'm kind of a bit cramped here. Because they built on my stuff. Okay, they've decided to clear that column. Oh, for God's sake, there's water there. Okay, I can't buff this column because there's a column full of water. That's bad news. Well, I can get myself a point here, I suppose. Yeah, I think I'm going to be behind after this. Because they go up 4, then I go up 4. Then they go up 5. Unless I can somehow stop them, I don't think I can. Because this only works on adjacent blocks. I can make them lose a point there. Yeah, let's just make them lose a point there. And then... yeah, they get 5, I get 1. So they're up by 4. Hopefully I can come back from that. Let's get another one of these. I want to try and put something here that I can benefit from without them interfering. There's a big range of hug emotes you're showing off there, Harry. That's... this is unfortunate. The only 2 cards I can play are both +1 to adjacent block, and I don't have any point scoring blocks on the green, so I have to do that, which is a bit silly. We get some points on the table. Yeah, this guy's deck is almost entirely these special blue-green farm cards. Okay. My goal here should be to try and outscore them by at least 4 points. At the moment we're scoring the same amount. I need to get 4 points ahead of them. And this will help. Yeah, if I do that and that. Now I'm up by 3. Okay, I've got 7 now. Okay, now we're even again. But I can, yeah, I can keep going here. Make that 6. And then I can do, well, I can store this point, but then I'll be able to put a police station here, and that will get me 3 points, 1 on each tile. There we go. So yeah, I am now ahead 4 points, which is what I wanted. And I in fact can get another point just here. So this is good news. And in fact, better news, I can deprive them of this point as well. Oh, I was too slow. There we go. Deprive them of that point. They are going to get their 7 and the 2, but yeah. I'm now ahead, barely. So we're still in with a chance. The end is here. This is where the level ends. So I just need to basically not give up 2 points in this section. This is going to be very useful. Do something like this. Yeah, you only saw it very briefly there, but this character also has their own screen of special abilities. Once we've completed the campaign, I'll go through all the playable characters and show you what their special abilities do. I can now do that. Also that. A bunch of points. They are getting 6 though. Actually, they're getting 7. Yeah, they're getting 7 and I'm only getting 5. Okay, still need to find some more points from somewhere.
Alright.
One of these. Yeah. I think we're going to be alright here, because he can't really do anything with these tiles because there's stuff in the way. And I can, yeah, if I play 2 cards, I can force clear both of these rows, and then this row will clear. And I just need to score more than this 7, which I should be able to manage. You just use a special ability called Uar, which adds a farmer's market card. Yeah, so I can play this now, get 8 points there. And I can clear this. So now I'm up 9. Now I'm up 10. Hang on. No, they managed to get. They managed to get my. They outscored me there and got 3 points. Right. As of right now, they're winning then because they're going to get 8. I didn't see that coming. What can I do about it? I can panic. Yeah, it'd be nice if I had a card that could reduce their score. I can only reduce their score by 1. So that's completely useless. We might be redoing this level. They might actually win. They managed to snipe my 3 points in the previous
That's how we
column.
do things round here. Anyone
Yeah.
fancy a pint?
They beat me 36 to 30. So we were unsuccessful. Well, let's try this guy next, and then we'll come back to that one. Some of these versus mode ones are very hard. I mean, it does say difficulty very hard. It's not lying. If I do anything different here, I still think this is good. Maybe actually I might. If I put the wholesalers in, I can use those to more easily reduce their score. And I can put another yellow card in to help buff things. Yeah, let's try that. This is going to be against a different character, but it's a similar principle.
Aha! Somebody young. Thank God.
By the way, apologies if you can hear rain on my roof. It's quite heavy at the moment.
Hey, I'm still young. I'm hip.
Oops. Sorry, I turned down the game volume when I was doing the Botany Redeem, and I didn't realise I hadn't turned it back up again. So sorry if you couldn't hear the dialogue for those last few.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure.
This is the volume it should be.
I'm Horace, and I want to sign up too. I'm fed up of this nothing town, Mr. Mayor. We've got to put it on the map.
Yes. I can never find this place on a map. Who do we call for that?
I've got a plan to rejuvenate the city's football team, the Caribou Worms. Starting with a new name. I mean, our city is already named after a cool animal. Why do we need to name our team after a worse animal? And not even an athletic one at that. I mean, a worm? Really? The mascot is downright creepy. It's like something from a David Cronenberg movie. What I'm proposing is a brand new stadium for the new Caribou Bucks. It'll only cost a few $100 million.
I love it!
Play me at the city planning thing. It can be my job interview. For a salary, I'll just take, I don't know, $100K a year.
Okay. So this starts off a little differently because we're free to build anywhere apart from right up there. Also, I haven't drawn any cards that get you points, so I'm a bit stuck. Let's do that. Okay. My opponent also hasn't drawn any cards that get you points. Oh, come on. That was a 50-50. This card is +1 to a random point collecting building, and he just happened to hit his own building and not mine. Eldibago says, just blasted my ear holes by turning you up all the way to see if I could hear rain. I heard no rain. Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, I can hear rain. But if you can't, that's good. I have a solar water heater on my roof. Which is made of metal. So It sounds like rain sounds when you're in a building with a metal roof, even though my roof is a normal tiled roof. It has a metal thing on top. So it is very loud. Apologies for blasting your ear holes, Teabagger. It did not. That was not my intention. Okay, I'm going to immediately get these gazebos because they're strictly better than the cards I start with. I can't actually buff this house because he's gone and put one next to mine, so that sort of ruins my plans. I'm going to have to put another one down and then buff it. Okay, so they have a special ability that gives them a skate park card, which is this building here, which also gives a +2. I prefer my version of the +2 building because it has plants in it, whereas the skate park is a big mass of concrete, but never mind. Gameplay wise, they're more or less equivalent. I can get myself 2 points here. It's a bit risky because he's got 3, but if I can get 1 more point on this tile, I can steal my opponent's points. Or they could get 1 more point instead. That's unfortunate. Why are they getting so many points? Yeah, I don't have many point getting cards. Let's get another one of these. Point. I'm going to save this +2 and then I'm going to try and use all my buffing cards on this tile in an attempt to score more than 5. Let's take right.
Let's go, team.
Okay, this guy has 2 purchases available and he's just ignoring both of them. Not sure what's up with that. Okay, let's get a school. So the plan is clear this column at a point, and then go all in on this column. As long as I get to this other gazebo before this fills up, I can make this 6 against their 5. And I can also hopefully, if he leaves that square open, I can use the wholesaler to lower their score by a point. Let's see what they do. I'm getting points there. That's not so bad. Getting 3. They closed that square. I was rather hoping that square would stay open, and I could have put my wholesaler there and deprived them of a point. This is looking like it's going to be a tie, to be honest. Oh no, actually no. If I do this and then this. Okay, I'm currently 1 point ahead. And they haven't got any more point collecting cards, buffing cards, so good news. But because I'm scoring more here, I actually get all of these points. So right now I'm getting 13 points from this. But if it was the other way around, my opponent would be getting 13. So it's very important to get all the points.
To school.
They're going to get 4 here, but then I'm going to get 13. Okay, that's a slightly better start than last time. We just have to not blow it at the end, I guess. Okay, they have a -1 and a 1, which are cancelling each other out. Oh, I have a purchase. I should probably get that. That, and then that, and then that gets me 3. Yeah, this is going better than last time. We had a fight for we both put all our points into one column, and I managed to win that column, which was the key thing.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I can go like this, and then this. Just get myself 4 points. At this point, even if they score stuff, they're not going to catch me, I think. Okay, now the question is, do I compete with them for points, or do I try and score my own points? I think it's safer to score my own points because I don't risk losing them. Let's do that. Sadly, these wholesalers don't quite line up to take any of their points away. You get a purchase. One of these. This next section is actually interesting. Normally there's an area in the middle of the map where we can both build, but now these 3 columns are blue and these 3 columns are pink. We have to stick to our own sides. Okay, I can finally lower their... Increase mine. Well, this is going a lot better than last time. I'm now up by 17 points. I'll take that. I'd rather like them to not build there, but I don't think I can stop them. Get myself there. Ah, good. I got lucky here. They haven't drawn any houses, so they can't claim those 4 points that are just sitting there. Okay, now they can. You just about had enough placements for them. Now it's my turn to not draw any houses. Yeah, I can do this and this, get some points. just don't think they can catch me at this point, so relax a bit. I'll clear this, then now this column becomes buildable by anyone, so I can come in here and get some points. No. Yeah, we'll score.
In your face.
Ooh, demolition. It's a very interesting. That's another special pink card which can be used to demolish buildings. Fortunately, I can just put it back again. Very nice of the game to sort of give me some free points here. I guess they think that this level is going to be harder than the previous one, so they give you extra points. So I really didn't need them. I don't actually have anything to score points with. I don't think it matters. So this card actually makes the maximum block size bigger, which is helpful in a solo game because you can get more economy. It doesn't really make much difference here. It also gives +1 to the building. I just fill this up and then let him have the 6 points. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So the end is in sight. And I have not drawn any houses, so I can't get any points. That might be useful. Set up some points ready to collect when I do have houses. Worried about points that we can get. Now run them at this point. Oh, if I buy one more thing, I can use my blue powers. That's quite good. And I can hit. Oh, we can hit 2 of these actually if I go there. Yes, if you think about the implications of this mode, it's a bit worrying. I'm incentivized to build factories next to my opponent's houses to make them worse places to live, because then I win the game. Please don't design cities like this in real life. So it sort of flashed by a bit fast on the screen, but what my opponent did there was they played a card which it's one of their special powers. It lets them take a card out of their deck and give it to me or give it to an opponent. Yeah. So you can get rid of cards you don't want and make your opponent deal with them.
You're getting served.
Okay, so even though they get 10 points here, I'm going to win comfortably. I don't think there's much they can do here. Can possibly gain a few points, but yeah, not enough to win.
Look out, here come the Caribou Bucks. Glad to be aboard, Mr. Mayor.
We did in fact get 3 stars on that level and unlock 2 new cards. Okay. And that was a success, and that's opened up a whole bunch of new levels. I do want to unlock this guy before we continue though, so I'm going to go back to this level now. I think I'm happy with my deck how it is.
Laney?
We have heard all this already, so skip it. Purchase. Immediately to. I think I always start with this in a versus game. I'll try and outscore them on that. Now that we have these wholesalers, we can, like, it's a lot easier for us to get rid of their points because we can come at them diagonally. Also do so here, in fact. One of these, try and get some more economy going. So if they clear a row that has a negative point, that basically forces them to lose a point, which is good news. Their score will go down to -1. I do not want to discard the following card. I quite want this card, so let's do that and then this. I don't want to allow them to win any columns. So this actually gets you 7 economy, which has got us so much that we filled up the bar twice, and we've now got 2 purchases. And one of those is going to be another one of these. Then another renovation. Yeah, if you use a skill in here, it refreshes the shop. So if you get 4 cards, you don't like any of them, and you take a skill. Next time the shop shows up, there'll be a different 4 cards. There. kind of just got houses that I don't have anywhere good to put them at the moment. Hello, Hazel Azazel, welcome. Hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you so much for redeeming your flower of the day, which is a Jemanda Speedwell. We are playing something interesting today. This game called Concrete Jungle, which I've never seen anyone else play on stream. Been out a while and never got much attention. But I like it. City planning themed card game. Okay, I only have houses to place, and all the empty tiles are worth -2 points. I really don't want to build on any of them. I think I'm just going to have to take the -2 points here. I mean, my opponent gets -1 as well, so the score is currently -2 to -1. Okay, and then I can do this. I don't want to take another -2. Okay, I'm going to give my opponent 1 point. Then that cancels out to 0. That gives them 4, but then I'm going to get 11 from this. So there we go. Okay. So when all that's said and done, we're up 6 points. And now we just have to keep those 6 points. Not throw the lead away like we did last time we tried this level. Instantly scores himself 4, that's great. This looks really bad because we're getting -3, but then I can set it to 1. Difficult for them to take points away because it's already surrounded by buildings. Although they have found a way. Okay, well now it scores 0, so never mind. I don't win or lose anything. Do pretty well, yeah. Yeah, this should give us a decent lead. Because he's not really doing anything about that 7. Okay, he wants to get 4 there. Now it's 9. If I play here, that clears these columns. So that's so I'm still at 7. We're about 2/3 of the way done in the level. can't place anything here because that's his land. Go off my land. If I go here, there's not much they can do to respond, so if I just try and put stuff on that square. Oh, wait, what did they do then? That's what they did last game. Where did all those points come from? Why is he suddenly scoring 8? Okay, are we going to lose again? Okay, now, 2 of them might help. Because I can make a block here and then buff the whole block. He's going to be ahead by 6 though, so... difficult. I didn't realise that was going to auto clear. I didn't actually get those points because it cleared before I could buff the block. That's annoying. Okay, let's not make that mistake again. So buff that block. And okay, he's still ahead 2, but I've got 5 points on the board. We might still be okay. It just he did this last time. He just suddenly seemed to get 8 points out of nowhere. He suddenly drew exactly the cards he needed to do that. Cancel that one out. I'm the only one with points on the board right now. There's this knack to just get points. It's because of that farmhouse tile. The farmhouse tile buffs the entire block. You see that's all one big block. So when you put that down, it went from 2 buildings each scoring 1 to 3 buildings each scoring 2, which is obviously a massive difference. What can I do about that? I can do this. At least we're both scoring 4 then. And the block, this block is already full. The blocks can only be 4 tiles each, so this is a maximum size block. Oh, and he still managed to score 2 more points in it somehow. That's unfortunate. Okay, how dead are we? Very. Need to get more points in here, and I don't think I'm going to. Gets me 4 there, so can't get him up by 2, but he's gonna get 14. That's not gonna work. Yeah, I think we just lose again. That's annoying. It came down to this column here, but he gets on 10 points from it. Well, struggling with this one for some reason. I don't remember struggling with this one so much when I played the campaign through the first time. But we'll give it another go. If I can't manage it after 3 attempts, we'll move on to a different level. Let's start off the same way as before. Unfortunately, there's 2 copies of that card, and it chose to replace the one that's down here, not the one that's up here. So I can't use it this turn. I still think my strategy of trying to outcompete him on these points is a good idea. So that's what we'll do. points away from here. Not sure why he decided to build those houses underneath my area, because now I can just, if he'd built them here they'd be safe, but here I can just take points away from them. Butterworth is this guy's name, by the way. Yeah, one of his special powers is replace a normal houses, so a greenhouses card, with a turquoise farmhouse card, which they synergize very well with the rest of his deck. Is why he keeps pulling out these combos and scoring a lot. Okay, he can't improve that 2 now because it's fully surrounded. That 3 should be safe to win that column. You can
Alright.
try and get more points in that next column. Okay, he's tried to tie me on that column. I can counteract that by there. Now I'm winning that column again. Running out of places to put houses that don't lose points, though. Let me put a renovation on this just in case he manages to get more points there. Okay, I think I'm winning every column in this apart from this column, which only has 1 point in it. So that's a good start. I actually don't want to play here because that's losing a point that's going to go to me. So I'll play here. Get that point back. And then here. Force him to...
Rubbish.
Okay. He has the option not to play a point collecting building. If he was forced to play a point collecting building, he'd have had to take -2 on that column. Oh, right, okay. This is a better start than last time. I'm up 15 points to -1. So that's a much better start.
Let's see here.
If we can keep it going. Put a house, yeah. Presumably I can't use this +1 to adjacent block because it would buff both of our houses, which is awkward. I wonder if the AI is smart enough not to buff a block that has some of my houses in it. Do this and this, and try and out-compete them on this one. But yeah, the whole +1 to block the farmland gives the farmhouses +1, and the farmhouse gives the block +1, so it's very easy to to spiral out of control, and I can't really stop him scoring that 4 points now. I can remove that point, I suppose. That's something. Can also 2 more points on that.
Alright.
I mean, as long as it just carries on like this, just getting 4 points at a time. Basically, every time he plays 4 of these turquoise cards, he can get a massive bonus from it. Be careful. Wisely put these houses here out of range of me applying any negative effects to them. I do have this renovation available. Used to win. I'll just clear that one. Nobody wins there. Then he gets 5, then I get 6. Then he gets 3, then I get 3. So at the end of the day, I'm still up by a decent amount. Okay, yeah, this is going a lot better than the last one did. I was only 2 points ahead at this point in the previous game. Yeah, I can actually use this to undo that point. Then force that to clear as well.
That was rubbish.
So he has to score 19 to catch me. And he can score like 6 to 8 points quite easily with these green turquoise blocks. He'd have to do that several times. I'm not going to try and compete on that row, but I can compete on this row because there's not many tiles left. I can just do that. He loses the point, I get a point. Unless he can score 1 in that corner. I don't think he can. Yeah, I won't try and compete there. I'll put more points on here. Possible to any point collecting building is good. This is also good. If I get houses in a line, that can be worth up to like +6, which is actually good. Try and build a bunch of houses in a line and take advantage of that. He's going to get any points as usual. Annoyingly, this factory won't take any of these points away. Actually, I could build here. Quickly put that factory in before the column. That column was about to clear because he had 3 points, but if I place it quickly enough, the game stops clearing, and he loses the points. He's still getting some points from it, of course. Yes. You see, the game's offering me those turquoise cards. They are good, but you need to build a deck around them. My deck does not synergize with those cards, so I can't use them now. See, this looks bad, but he's still, yeah, he's only going to be at 18 after this clears, so it's not actually enough to win. Fortunately, I think I'll actually do this and then try and fill this last row, and then the game's kind of over. He gets 10, but 10 is not enough to win. Yeah, most he can do is get one more point. Can actually match that point, and then end the game. There we go.
Well, Tommy Gun, you got me.
Okay, that's how you're supposed to play that level. Let's just forget the first 2 times happened, and let's pretend that was the first one I did.
Welcome aboard the sinking ship.
Okay, we didn't actually get the 3rd star in the campaign, so we scored 33. You need 42 for 3 stars. Okay, yeah, we were not close to scoring 42. But I'll take that for now. I'll come back to that level possibly next stream. We've got about half an hour left in this stream, so I'm going to tackle one more campaign level. So there's another very hard versus where we unlock another playable character. But there's also this solo mode, so I think we'll go there first, because we've been doing quite a bit of versus mode.
Now that we're officially friends, I was wondering if you can help me develop this empty land on my farm.
I could probably turn it into a theme park of some kind. That seems to be my special talent.
Thank you for the wiggles, Matcha.
I was thinking more along the lines of a farm.
Yes, please could I have a farm on my farm?
Like a special farm-themed adventure park.
No, just an animal and crops themed farm. A farm.
So yeah, now we get to play with this farm deck. So you can actually collect points using these farmhouses as well as the normal houses. And the reason you'd want to do that is these, +1 to this block. So if you imagine a block that has this farmhouse and 2 of these, then that block is already at +2, even without having any extra buffs applied to it. Here is the special abilities screen for this guy. You see it's completely different to Laney's. And one of their first abilities is to replace all their houses with farmhouses. It's really good. There's also there's an ability called Gert Lush, which is a slang term where I live. Which is make it more likely for rural cards to appear in the shop. And then the UR. Yes, this is... Both of these terms are like Somerset dialect. People tend to... Like the Devon and Cornwall accent is very similar to the Somerset accent, but for whatever reason, people call the Cornish accent pirate and the Somerset accent farmer. Even though it's kind of the same thing. But these are Somerset things, so it's interesting to see them in this game. I'm just going to buy this 3 times, because it's very synergistic to have these farmhouses. Score points very easily with them. See. And the good news is we're no longer in versus mode, so we don't need to worry about anybody taking points away from us. So this card increases the max block size, which is very useful because you can then have giant blocks buffing the whole map. Like that. maximum block size, by the way, is 16. So you can only apply the increased max block size so many times, but it's still very powerful. We get one of them. These, yeah, some of these columns are going to be difficult to fill. I might have to lose a couple of lives at some point. I think how we're going to do this. That block I want to do. Let's do to this max block size so that I can collect points down here. And I think I'll just do this for this one. And then, yeah, if I put a farmhouse here, you see how that's instantly 4 points? Because this block already has 3 +1 to this block tiles. That block is now full. It's 8. This one has space still. I could actually bring this block up here and collect points here. Like that. It's almost enough. Do this block. Give us 3. I'm going to be 1 short. That's annoying. I'm close to being able to actually. Yeah. Can I can +2 to max block size there. Collect points here. There we go. Okay. There was a way. And then I can't +1 to that block. There's me. Okay, just got there in time. I was just spamming buildings there to get to a point collecting building so that I could get the full bonus for clearing everything at once. El Tibago says there's a weird thing where if you say things in Hindi with a Welsh accent and vice versa, it sounds pretty much the same. Okay. I wasn't aware of that, Tibago. That is fascinating. Sort of convergent evolution of accents going on there. Okay, these are always good. I might actually want to delete a card because it's the game has put a houses card in my deck because of how many purchases I made. Deleting that house is actually probably quite a good play because I want to get all my points with farmhouses. I'll take one of these. When you use the delete card ability, you can't just pick any card to delete from your deck. It has to be a card that is here on the screen. So there is some planning required. Okay, this block isn't actually full yet. I can do that. Get 2 free points. El Tibago says something to do with them both being derived from the same Proto-European language that predates Sanskrit. I mean, yes. But also, like, Proto-Indo-European is certainly the common ancestor of Welsh and Hindi, but it's also the common ancestor of pretty much every other European language, including English. Lady L says, I should go to sleep. Thank you for the stream, Emma. Have a good day, night, everyone. Until next time. No problem, Lady L. Glad you could hang out with us. I will actually be raiding out pretty soon. Another 10 or 15 minutes. So I'll probably just finish this level and then raid out. But sleep well, Lady L. I will be back tomorrow with some filament if you'd like to watch that. Okay, now that we've made 5 purchases, by the way, we've unlocked our next tier of hours. So we get another +1 to block card. Oh, and this is replaced with the +1 to block card. We get the pub. Wait for this all to blow over, this ability is called. Demolition. That only does anything in versus mode. Oh, the steal points card. That one's fun. You can steal points from your opponents. Actually, let's replace this house. And I can delete something else with the scrapyard. So that block is actually full now. So we need to start a new block. Maybe up here. We can plonk a renovation on onto that block again. Then plus one there. And then okay, that block's full, so now we can move it here. Oh, we can plus 2 to max block size. Okay, we can actually bring this block out further, which is nice. Oh, plus block. I was hoping to use that to buff this column. Guess we sort of still can. I'm actually going to pick up a demolition because I've kind of screwed up the first column. Economy for each building. That could actually be quite good. Yeah, it's good. I can buy something. Station might actually be helpful here because I'm going to have some running out of space. Right, plus 1 to that block. You have to keep track of where the blocks are in this very much. I was hoping the bus station wouldn't be stuck at the top here because you have to have built the building you want to buff with the bus station. I was going to put something here and then try and buff with the bus station. Well, I don't actually want to delete any of these cards. Oh well, let's write that column off as no good. Then and complete the rest of them. That would be good enough. I've got 2 lives at this point. Click there. This block is almost full. Yeah, you would have to keep track of the blocks in this mode with this deck rather. I can make this block even bigger if we want to. Here. Onto that block. Onto that block. Well, we're scoring a lot of points. The good news. Okay, now the block is full. Okay, so we have to use this block. But we can do that. And yeah, okay, we almost get a full. We still get plus 320 for clearing all of these. Hello, Bomi34. Thank you for redeeming your first ever flower of the day, which is a lady's bedstraw. Lovely, delicate yellow flower. Bomi says, I got a pickle, hey, hey, hey. And my mods are confused by that sentence, but no problem. Welcome in. We're just playing a little game called Concrete Jungle, which is a city building themed card game. Although right now it's a farm building themed game. We seem to be... let's try one of these actually, these seem quite good. Bomi says they channel points look like pickles. They're supposed to be leaves. Now you come to mention it, they do look a bit like pickles. Oh well. Thank you for spending them regardless. And welcome in. I got to leave. Hey, hey, hey. It's fine, don't worry. Yeah, if you look at it that big, it's obviously a leaf. But that's, yeah, I don't expect anyone to... Ren, thank you so much for the 10 bits that you paid to make that emote big. I will not be offended by anyone who refers to them as leaves. Okay, I need to think about how I'm actually going to earn points in this area, because right now I'm not drawing any farmhouses, therefore I'm not earning any points. Okay, here's a farmhouse coming up. That's good news. Let's also increase the block size. Like that, and then we can... There we go. We just need to manage to do that on every column, rather than just one of the columns. Here. And then... Okay, this block has one more. Yeah, I need more farmhouses, more than anything else. Let's set up... let's max block size on this. Thank you, Bomi, for that follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream today. Bomi says, stopped in from Lizzieland to show some love. I'm going to throw you a follow and go play some game. No problem. Lizzie is an excellent streamer, and I'm glad you were able to find your way here. I'm here every Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and I mostly play puzzle games. I'm playing a game called Filament tomorrow, if that interests you. Okay, one more here. There we go. Look, once you get a nicely buffed block going, just every farmhouse you place immediately gets the column target. But I kind of messed up a bit over here. If I can, actually, yeah, I can do a plus max block size on this block, and then put a farmhouse here. That will work. So I need to start a new block over here. Max block size. Plus one to this block. Collect points there. Yeah. Okay. I think I've got the hang of it. I don't think I want any of these things now. Actually, this is still useful. Oh, and I get another purchase. So, yeah. Oh, I need to expand that block again, which I can do in a minute. Block. Now I can collect points there. I was just going to see if I could fill in the whole map first. There we go. Now I get the maximum bonus for clearing everything. Let's just quickly... All these blocks are full, aren't they? Yeah, okay, well that block isn't. That's not a rural block. I'm sort of over-optimizing this. I'm pretty sure you only need 1,000 points to get 3 stars on this level. And we have 2,000. But I'm just showing what's possible if you sort of think about the placements of things. So there's actually a pre-placed rural block here, which we can extend. Yeah, that's this block can go to size 7 now. I think we can use this block for the entire thing. We can go here. That's 5. We can increase the block size again. So that's now 6 out of 9. So we can put 3 more things in. One of those can be a +1 to block. Now we just need to put a farmhouse here and a farmhouse here, and we're done. We also need points down here. You can collect those points with houses there. Okay. I didn't actually mean to do that, but never mind. Lock. Yeah, I'm literally just waiting for 2 farmhouses now. Oops. For the demolition, why not? 9 out of 9. But oh, I need to plus block size. Points. See, we're getting 7 points at a time now from this one block, which is quite a lot. Oh, that's now full again. I miscounted. Fortunately, I can reduce the block size by 1 by doing that. Now the block isn't full anymore. Oh well, let's try and get as many points as we can. Be fun. Okay, increase the block size again. Collect points again. That's now worth 20. It's 11 out of 12. Okay, so we can't extend it any further. We can stick a house over here though for another 4 points. And a point there, and then we can also add max block size to this block again. We have a townhouse now, so we can collect more points there. Yeah, you see it gets a bit crazy after a while. But also, like, the column target is going up. Notice how the column target is now 6. So I have to score at least 6 points on every new column that appears. So if this wasn't the end of the game, I would still have a lot of work to do. Right, I'd like to buff this block, please. Okay, that's now 27. Can we get it any higher? We can get it to 28. No, we can get to 29. Yeah, this is so this is an example of what you can do. Organise the buffs. So that one column is now going to score 841 points. We easily get 3 stars on that campaign. I mean, it's helpful. It's helpful to get too many points anyway because it progresses the XP bar faster and unlocks the cards faster. What I'm actually going to do, completing the campaign doesn't actually unlock all the cards. You have to play a few games in solo mode to unlock all the cards. Once I finish the campaign, I'm going to revert to my existing save where I have everything unlocked, and then show off solo mode with that. So we don't have to grind through the XP to unlock all the cards. I mean, it's not that much of a grind. But yeah, we're at 4 hours, so that's a well-timed place to leave it. So we still have these 5, and I think 1 more unlocks later as well. The campaign is far from over. Probably 1 more stream of this game, which is nice. I think it'll fit neatly into 2 streams. So we will end there. Sorry, the sound is going to go now because I'm going to get raids and stuff sorted out. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to everyone who followed today, as well as Ren for the bits from that giant emote that you made. Thank you to Shell for the raid earlier. Thank you to Alex for your bits back at the start of the stream. Thank you to everybody who redeemed their flowers today. And I'm going to look for raid target now. If anybody has suggestions, do let me know. We could go to Lizzie, especially since she presumably shouted me out since Bomi found their way in here. But I'll just have a look who else is on. No problem, Alex. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so we've only raided Lizzie once before, so we should throw another raid her way because she's an awesome streamer. Right now she's playing Dinkum, which is one of these sort of crafting games. It's very, very cozy. Just make sure she's not on a break or anything. No. Okay. Yeah, we'll go there today. Let me get that raid set up. So I would appreciate if everybody could leave a raid message when we head over to Lizzie's stream. If you're subscribed, I'll give you a message with my emotes to use. Let's do this one today. So here is a raid message with my emotes. If you don't have my emotes, no problem. Use any emotes you want, but I'll give you a version with some dancing dinosaurs in it, because who doesn't love dancing dinosaurs? Thank you, Ren. There we go, there's the Dino Dance version. Raid. It's Lizzie Bear. There we go. So I will be back tomorrow with continuation of Filament, the very hard, very mind-blowing game about wrapping wires around things. Tomorrow's probably going to be the last stream of it. Once we've tried every puzzle type and got stuck on every puzzle type, I don't think it's a game I'm going to try and 100%. I'll be back here, same time, same place next week with Concrete Jungle. VVVVVV was just a one-off stream. So next Friday is going to be something new. I will actually be putting a poll in my Discord to decide that game. So if you're not already in my Discord and would like to join, there's the link. You can also find that down below my stream. But until then, thank you all for watching, and bye for now.